with Woke News. 4 o'clock hour, it's What'd You Do That's New. We'll go over My Choice, find out what Deb has to offer coming up for next week. 5 o'clock hour, it's Only Money with our buddy Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth. Plus, we'll do trivia as well. We'll end it up with You Heard It Here First. Your calls, texts, and talkbacks all day long. Welcome to the program. I am Jim. To my left, my lovely and very dangerous co-host, Ms. Deb Roberts.
Hello there.
Straight ahead producer, Jack Bradshaw.
Good afternoon.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Find us easily on social, Instagram and Facebook at The Jim Colbert Show, on Twitter, just at Jim Colbert Show, and of course all day, every day at JimColbertLive.com. That's where you can click through. Check us out on YouTube as we do the program. Ooh. You can see Scott live in studio a little bit later. Actually, he's going to be on Zoom a little bit later, but you can check him out and watch him talk about finances. You can watch us do What You Do That's New. Trying to sell it hard here, guys. Just YouTube channel, JimColbertLive.com. Click through, give us a like and subscribe when you get there. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Good for a Monday.
Not bad for that's a good. Well, it's a Tuesday though.
Okay, so maybe I'm not good then.
Yes. Man, I have to tell you, big weekend, of course. A lot going on, a lot to talk about. The Corn Fest, Fringe ended up this weekend.
Yep.
A bunch of shows there. Memorial Day festivities all over the place. Where shall we start? Oh yeah, almost shot under par on Sunday.
What?
No, I'm just joking. We'll move on. I was standing on the 18th tee, 2 under, and I made double bogey. Or 1 under and I made double bogey to finish 1 over. That close, Jack. It's a thing now. Either way, let's move on.
No, let's
Because
not
I'm
move on.
angry.
Time out. When you are on 18th hole.
Yeah, I'm 1 under par standing on the 18th tee. And all I have to do is make par to shoot 71 at the beautiful Country Club of Mount Dora, which is in perfect shape, golfers. Let me just tell you, it's the best deal in Orlando right now.
And how many times have you shot 18 under par?
I've never shot I've shot under par, not under par in years, and this is my new game, and it's a real deal golf course. So I was playing really well and almost shot under par, but did not. Made double bogey on the 18th because I did not focus.
What were you thinking about?
Not making double bogey, Jack. The thing you don't make, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it, but I do kind of.
Hey, it's 302, and I wasn't the one who brought it up.
It's so GD good right now. And just to be able to get to that point and think, okay, well, you got it down a little bit here, buddy. And then finally, an accomplishment. And by the way, it's like that it wasn't like that's not a birdie hole, but either way, I didn't. And I don't know why I started the show off with that. I just been thinking about it all day. It would drive me crazy. But we did have something very cool out of Mount Dora, which was the Mount Dora Corn Festival. It was going on Friday and Saturday of this week. I know Russ was out there from the Monsters on yesterday. I know that Chris Carson, your fiance, is the one who organized it. And I know that you were going to be on property as well. How'd it go?
It was great. Yeah.
Deb was out of her house?
I was out of my house.
Yeah.
Went with my mom. We went at the perfect time.
Which is what, 6 in the morning?
No, you'd think, right? After 7 p.m. because the heat. I'm not good with the heat. Well, good with the heat.
Who is when it's 99 degrees outside?
That's the one thing that everybody talked about Saturday was how hot.
And even in a
Just
shaded
hot.
park, if there's no breeze blowing, and thank God with Mount Dora being right there on the lake, you do get a predominant breeze most of the time.
Yep.
It can get stagnant and still there, though.
But we had a great time. The corn was delicious. Mark Wills, I'd never seen him perform before.
This is the country music guy?
The country music guy performed at a really good show. And as soon as he was done, there were some fireworks.
Oh, really?
And
nice.
it was a really good event.
Well, that's awesome. I saw some of the photographs from Russ's Facebook page because I know he was out there the Saturday afternoon. Yep. And it looked like a pretty good crowd out there.
It was a great crowd.
That's
For
good.
a first year.
I was going to say, the inaugural, man.
Yeah, first year event. It was a good crowd.
Bringing it
great
back.
Vendors.
Bringing it back. I love it out there. So that's good.
Yeah.
But it was hot.
It was
It was
blazing.
Pretty. Sunday is when we went out to play. My son and I played at 7 in the morning. We were done by like 10:45. But man, there was this deal. We come around and he goes, play 18 more for only $25. And I was like, I'm out. There's no way I'm getting back out there. Dumb.
Right.
My boy called his friend and went out there at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Oh,
on Sunday.
No.
When I told Deb when he got back and he came in the house, he was in the house for a minute and he comes over and he goes, hey, what's the air set on? I'm like, not enough, dude. I said, your face is purple. He did not put sunblock or anything.
Wow.
He was, and with a hat, his face was still just boiled, man. It was brutal. I couldn't imagine being on the beach. I had some friends that went, and they said it's you're good for about 20 minutes out there before you had to hop in the ocean and then come back out because it was.
But that's it. Beach, you also get a little bit of a breeze usually.
You can.
It's usually not as hot as it is center of state.
That's right. But you had to remember, just like I was talking about the Springs last week, when you go to the springs, you're more susceptible to get sunburn and sun
Right.
poisoning because the water's so cold. You don't feel like you need any protection, not knowing that that sun is coming through that crystal clear water and just microwaving you into a coffin. Because it's unbelievable. But at the beach, it wasn't that bad. And I went to a graduation party for a friend.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
High school?
Yeah. So it's weird because I've never been to a party like that I wasn't related to. But our friends Shane and Nikki, their daughter that we've known since she was 2, graduated from high school this past year.
Oh my God!
If that doesn't make you feel like time is marching on.
Yeah. She's like 2 when we met her. And now she graduated from high school, so we went to one of those, which was very cool. They got a slip and slide thing. That was great.
Oh, fun.
I was so tempted.
Oh, you didn't do it?
No, I did not. The first thing they asked, did you bring your suit? I'm like, and I looked them both dead in the eye. I'm like, I'm not giving you that. You don't deserve that from me to see me in a bathing suit on a slip and slide.
Come on.
Nobody could do that. No phone stuff anymore from it. There's no way I'm doing that. No way you're getting that on me. All right, 407-916-1041. Jack, I know you're out at Fringe quite a bit. I saw Ross's show on Friday night to almost a sold-out stadium. I mean, or sold-out theater, 300 seats in that theater, and I think there were probably, 25 shy of selling it completely out.
It's a big room. I went again. I saw Ross's show. I saw about 24 shows overall over the 2 weeks of Fringe.
Yeah.
But I saw Ross's show twice, and I went on Sunday. And on the way out of Ross's show, and you still laugh a lot, I hear, Bradshaw.
Yeah, all right.
Bradshaw. I turn around, and I'm like, oh, that's right. I see Deb and her fiance, Chris, there.
Did you like it?
Oh, I loved it.
What was your favorite sketch?
The pirate.
The pirates were for you?
Yeah.
What was your favorite sketch?
Wait, and the astronauts.
The astronauts is my favorite one.
I like the astronauts, but I really like the baseball sketch, and the one they did here on the show is just because it's so clever. It's funny because I was talking to Ross yesterday, and he's like, he goes, do you know how, what Deb think of the show? I go, oh, I didn't ask her. I figured we'd talk about it today. He goes, because so much of when I was writing it, I go, he kept thinking, oh, Deb's going to love this.
Yeah, really, that's funny. He did tell me, and you could see it if you get to go and check it out. And they did film it, so I don't know if they plan on putting it out so you can see it now. I know Chase was shooting a 3-camera shoot the night we were there, which was Saturday night.
Oh, wow.
To a sold out crowd that reacted very well to all of it. I mean, got a lot of laughs.
The Friday night performance you went to, I hear, was like one of the most electric. And then on Sunday, it was a 12:15 show. And Ross even mentioned at the end of it, he goes, when you look at the schedule and see you got a 12:15 Sunday show, you're expecting about 40 people to be there. There was like 240 people there.
Oh, yeah. It was the same exact crowd as he had Saturday night. Jack told me that today. I was like very excited for him because he put a lot of time and effort into this. Joel, his writing partner / comedy partner / ride or die kind of guy, was fantastic. But Joel is a total professional. He's been doing entertainment like this for many, many years.
Yeah.
To watch them work together on something finally like this has been kind of cool. Of course, they have the podcast. It's nothing like this, though. But God, so much fun. And I got to talk to him a little bit afterwards as well. And the first time I've seen Olivia in a few months. And, I don't know if you guys know, she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, man, really pregnant.
6 months
6
now.
months pregnant. Looks as happy and as content as you can imagine.
Be careful. I don't know if you know that for sure. It could be a fat suit.
Yeah, it could be a fat suit, but I doubt it. She was carrying and very happy.
Yeah. Bernardo was pretty cool, too.
Bernardo?
Yeah, the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
Those the fat suit and Bernardo are 2 callbacks to Ross's show. You folks, you should have saw it.
Yeah, I did see it. All right. But the funny thing is a number of those sketches started off as Theater Thursday.
Yeah.
He told me goes, and I tried to figure out which ones it was.
Well, the one with the
name,
too, the cowboy one, but also the one with the
pilots.
The name, the pilot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the very first sketch. That was great. So much fun. If you didn't get to check it out, hopefully he'll put it out on video and they'll edit it up so you can see it if you do get a chance to do that.
And I'm sure they'll be talking about it in tomorrow night's Good Sauce podcast.
Of course.
Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, so you can hear Ross and Joel, relive it then.
Well, somebody texted us at 77031 and said, Fringe 2024, over 30,000 tickets were sold, giving $455,000 paid to the artists.
Yeah, that's very cool. You remember this. It is a business deal with Fringe. You have to, for one thing, you you apply to get a theater, then you have to be chosen, or
it's a lottery,
right?
Yeah.
A lottery. You have to be picked, and then when you get picked, you have to decide what size venue you want to perform in based on your production. And Ross and Joel, to get good times that people could see it, chose the bigger venue. And it worked out great for them because, you sell 300 seats. You're renting the venue from them, basically.
You are.
And you have to sell tickets to pay for the venue that night. Not to mention stage direction, lighting, all that stuff comes out of their pay.
Yeah.
So it was a small business they ran for about 2 weeks.
The lighting's included because you're renting the space and they include that. But any other production costs you have to put on your show comes out of your pocket. So you try and keep your production costs just like any business. You want to keep your costs low. You want to maximize ticket sales. So and it's a strategy. Do I go with a small? They have small, medium, and large venues.
Yeah.
They went with a large venue, and it worked for them because
they needed it.
They needed it for a few of those shows.
Yeah, I was very happy for them. So we're excited. Hopefully, again, they'll put that video out and everybody can check it out.
You got to see it.
Let's see what else is out there this weekend. I guess that was about it. Memorial Day was pretty kind of lame for me. I just played golf that one time, but really we worked around the house. We had this giant project we're beginning, and we did a lot with that. So
you just crank up the Yacht Rock on Real Radio.
I did
all
crank
weekend?
up the Yacht Rock this weekend, dude. I listened to it a lot. Great job, by the way.
Yeah,
it sounded. Can I tell you? You know what it sounded different.
Yeah,
it sounded different than any other station on that weekend. This past weekend, it was great.
So, and special thanks to Angel and also C Lane, who actually recorded for their shifts. They introduced the songs during their shifts, typical shifts on a Monday. I did afternoons, but it was very well received, and I can tell you now that we are going to continue doing that for the summer. Just Fridays, just Saturdays and Sundays, weekends on Real Radio. We will have a Real Yacht Rock summer summer long. Every Saturday and Sunday, you can listen to the Yacht Rock on Real Radio.
Yeah, and congrats. I ditched it. I don't even think they had anything to do with it whatsoever. Who is it?
Thank you.
Who else helped?
A guy named Tom or Tim.
They did. Such an impactful player. It's Tom or Tim.
Maybe it's Tam.
All right.
I think his name is Tam.
407-916.
Is that a name?
1041. By the way, 12 total winners for us for the cash giveaway, which was very, very good. So thank you guys. We'll have some more opportunities a little bit later this summer for you guys to grab some more dough or some other cool stuff here from the station. Deb, what you got for new? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to tell you if you want to know. Do you know what our prize is this week on JCS Trivia?
I do not. Actually,
it kind of connected to Yacht Rock.
Yeah.
It's tickets to see Christopher Cross at the Plaza Live.
That's great. All right, Dad, what do you got for news?
Well, we have an American arrested in the Turks and Caicos, sentenced to 3 weeks and a fine.
Oh, nice.
The number of Florida homeschool vouchers is on the rise, and the Wu-Tang, the world's only copy of a Wu-Tang Clan album, is about to go on display. We'll talk about that and more coming up next during Woke News.
You got it. All right, 407-916-1041. Back in a sec with Deb's news and more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Real Radio. It is.
The Monsters in the Morning.
One more time.
I was wrong, Angel. We can auction off one more thing.
Thank you.
That's
okay. A promo.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
Looking at slow traffic in the usual spots on I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area between US 27 and the 429 and between Osceola Parkway and 535. No major problems at this time for those taking the Beach Line or the Greenway today. Traffic looking good up and down the Turnpike as well. If you see traffic problems, just make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale is here. Get a Sleepy's Queen mattress at the lowest price ever, just $89.99. This deal ends Tuesday, so don't wait. Visit Mattress Firm and save over 60%. In-store pickup only, while supplies last. Find your nearest one today.
This earful of Real Radio is sponsored by the Franchise Show June 8th and 9th at Orange County Convention Center, OrlandoFranchiseShow.com.
Hey, everybody, Jim Colbert here for my friends over at Life Imaging FLA. Time to be a hero. Tell your friends and family about Life Imaging FLA. They've been in town about a year now. Been killing it. I mean, really doing a good job for people who are scared about their health. Giving you that life scan just gives you so much information to make you feel better about where you are. I tell the story before. I'll tell it again. It's important. When my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, when they called my wife to tell them that their scans were clear, and I was standing right there, that relief, you could hear it in their voice. And that, and many many other people here in Central Florida have had that same experience. I know that because they come up and say it to us. Hey, look, me and my wife went in for the scan at Life Imaging FLA. She thought she was going to be the one with problems. Turns out I had problems, and they turned out in surgery just 10 days later to make sure they're going to be okay, saving their life. That's exactly what Life Imaging FLA does, and they do it quite well, and they're ready to help you right now. Don't wait. Do what I did. Call these guys at Life Imaging FLA. Get that free heart scan. It's just a few minimum requirements. There's a $699 value, though. And remember, no dyes. You don't take off your clothes. This entire process only takes a few minutes, but the info you get could really affect you for a lifetime. And while you're there, be sure to ask about their cancer screening as well. And it's easy to make your appointment. Just pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, say the keyword free heart scan. That's it, pound 250, say the keyword free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. Make that call. Make 2024 the year you finally take control of your long-term health care. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Last season, millions tuned into the Betrayal podcast to hear a shocking story of deception. I'm Andrea Gunning, and now we're sharing an all-new story of betrayal. Justin Rutherford. Doctor, father, family man. It was the perfect cover to hide behind.
I was just like, what in the world is going on?
Listen to Betrayal on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Betrayal and start listening.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anna Jar Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
Hard Rock Live presents an evening with animal rescue advocate, motivational speaker, and star of Animal Planet's My Pack Life, Lee Asher from the Asher House, Thursday, May 30th at the Hard Rock Live Orlando. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster and the Hard Rock Live box office.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I love playing pranks on my sister, and this deal going on at McDonald's is my chance to take the lead. Enjoy any 2 items for $3.79. From the iconic McDouble, the McChicken, a 4-piece chicken McNuggets, small fries, to even a small soft drink. I'm gonna pair my McDouble with her small fries, but secretly pull her fries out of the bag. She won't even notice. Hey, where'd the fries go? Sounds like my prank just got fried. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
What's better than air conditioning? A portable air conditioner you can take anywhere. Enter McDonald's frozen drinks. I call them air cup-ditioners. Air cup-ditioners come in all my fave flavors, like frozen Coke, frozen Fanta Blue Raspberry, and frozen Sprite Lemonade. And they're incredibly cost-effective. Any size is just $1.49 after breakfast hours. My air cup-ditioner is on full blast. There are drinks. And there are drinks from McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Coca-Cola, Fanta, Sprite, and Lemonade are registered trademarks of the Coca-Cola Company.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MOVE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S., over 15 million this year alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss even when you monitor your credit. If your identity's stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% their first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at LifeLock.com.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? ROLAIDS.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
ROLAIDS.
Fourth cup of coffee?
Still ROLAIDS.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The free iHeart app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Real Fun Beach Radio.
I got my toes in the water.
Real Fun Beach Radio is commercial-free all summer and gives you that toes in the sand beach music vibe 24/7.
I'm picking up good vibrations. Sweet home Alabama all summer long.
Just open the free iHeart app, search Real Fun Beach Radio, and start listening. Free never sounded so good.
Discover the new Buick SUVs in stock now at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
There's only one place to watch this nonsense. At Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Jack, I just wanted to say, Yacht Rock Weekend was a hit. I was awkward white guy dancing all about the kitchen.
Awkward white guy dancing. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show right here on Real Radio. I am Jim. Jack is right over there. And Deb has your news. Let's get it.
And now, it's time for Woke News.
It seems like kind of a misuse of the whole woke.
On the Jim Colbert Show.
As always, Woke News is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. All right, another American facing 12 years behind bars for possessing ammunition in the Turks and Caicos will be returning to the U.S. Tyler Weinrich of Virginia was given a 3-week sentence and is now free to leave the islands after paying a $9,000 fine this week.
So basically time served?
Yeah. Brian Hagerich was arrested for having hunting ammunition in his baggage earlier this year while trying to return to Pennsylvania with his family. Last week, a judge slapped Hagerich with a $6,700 fine and also told him he is free to return to the U.S. as well. Next up, we're still waiting for the Orlando mother, who was the latest American arrested after ammunition was found in her luggage as well.
And by the way, you have to pay that to leave, right?
Yes. I think it's like a fine of $500 per bullet.
Yeah, you don't get to send them a check or anything.
No, you got to pay it right there.
I'm just not going back to the Caicos thing.
Right there.
Yeah.
All right, the State Department wants a full investigation into the Israeli strike in Rafah over the weekend that killed dozens of Palestinians. Justice Department spokesman Matthew Miller told reporters Israel must minimize civilian harm as it carries out targeted operations in the city in southern Gaza.
As soon as the United States saw reports of this incident, we reached out to the government of Israel to express our deep concern over what happened, ask for more information, and urge them to undertake a full investigation.
Now, the Israeli military claims the munitions it dropped were insufficient to cause a large fire that killed displaced Palestinians sheltering in tents. The IDF says a secondary explosion may have been caused by weapons stored in the area by Hamas. The Biden administration is against any full-scale military operation in Rafah, where a large number of civilians are seeking refuge, having been moved out of other areas of Palestine.
Yeah. More and more European nations are starting to recognize Palestine as an individual state or as a sovereign state.
Well, in the meantime, those who support Palestine continue to make their voices heard here in Orlando. A rally was held yesterday outside City Hall. It came the same day those 45 civilians were killed in that Israeli airstrike. A member of the Florida Palestine Network says it was absolutely not a mistake and they're ethnically cleansing our people. Another person at the rally tells Wesh 2 News they're enraged their tax dollars are being used to fund a genocide. All right, a Sumter County teenager is missing. The sheriff's office yesterday asked residents to be on the lookout for 16-year-old Peyton Pickard. He left his home in Bushnell on foot and was last seen only wearing black boxers. Deputies said they need to find him ASAP.
We're always worried about injuries, dehydration, because it's, almost 100 degrees out here, and it is Florida. And we don't know what he has for any resources because we don't know where he's at. He could be in the woods out there, and, there's insects, there's mosquitoes, and he has been missing overnight.
Yeah, Peyton is described as a nonverbal autistic white young man with brown hair and blue eyes and a burn scar on his right leg. He's 5'7" and 120 pounds. They say he'll sometimes respond to questions, but yelling his name, he won't respond to that.
Wow.
Photos are available at facebook.com/SCSO Florida.
Wow.
I know every parent's.
It's a challenge.
Oh, man.
It just, yeah. And his dad says, he does wander off before, but he's never been gone this long.
Yeah.
All right, school is either out for this summer or winding down at districts across the state. It is the final week of school in Volusia County, and hearts are heavy at Sugar Mill Elementary School in Port Orange, where 10-year-old Shalon Comely was struck and killed by an SUV as she rode her bike in the crosswalk outside the school's entrance on Friday. Police Chief Manuel Marino talks about the girl's family.
Unfortunately, in this case, this is the worst possible scenario for this family to have to endure this right here at the end of the school year.
Yeah, a GoFundMe page has raised more than $9,000 to help pay for a memorial and her family's legal fees.
Wow.
The driver is cooperating with investigators. More officers will be patrolling the area through the end of the school year on Friday, but many parents plan to attend tonight's school board meeting, pleading for more police or crossing guards near schools. Speaking of schools, the number of Florida homeschool vouchers are expected to double in size during the upcoming academic year. A state program will allow up to 60,000 families who educate their children at home to apply for vouchers for the 2024-2025 year. The money is used to buy instructional materials, education courses, and tutoring services. The program's cap is expected to grow by 40,000 students each year. Under a law passed last year, applications will remain open through the beginning of next school year.
It'll be interesting to see how these kids do in college. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I'm really interested to see how these homeschool kids do out in the real world after they've been dealt a limited, kind of focused education on a number of different subjects. I'm really interested to see how that goes.
I think some can excel.
Yes, no question.
I think that might be the minority. I think there should be a test before you are able to do this.
Yeah.
Because if you are getting a voucher, that means this is taxpayer money that we are now funding your child's education.
That's right.
You are taking on to do it. And it's your kid, but it's our taxes. So,
yeah, exactly.
I would like you to undergo a test before you are allowed to teach.
That's a good point.
Come on, dummy. Too many dummies out there.
As I'm doing the story, I'm like, wait a minute, we're paying for this twice.
Yeah, you're paying for it twice, not to mention.
And then we'll pay for it when you raise a dodo.
Yeah. The problem is how limited the education can be. It's more than just, your science, math things. I mean, I think you could probably get through that. But there are certain issues when it comes to culture that I think you have to be exposed to a little bit. Even if you don't agree with it, you have to be exposed to it to understand how the actual world works. Because when you take one of these people who has had this focused education and you put them into any corporation that has to deal with not diversity issues per se, but just hires from different cultures and stuff. You have to just be able to kind of work your way around those scenarios. I'm just kind of fear for that limited education.
And it's interesting you bring that up too, because we just talked about the rallies and these pro-Palestinian showdowns at college campuses around the country, and a lot of employers are looking to see if you attended one of those rallies because they consider someone who would attend one could be confrontational at work or could make other coworkers feel uncomfortable.
My son-in-law was homeschooled, got a job at a grocery store. Very difficult to him to be social at work. My niece is homeschooled, on track to graduate at 14 and a half. Homeschooling kids do just fine in college, they say. We'll see how that works out numbers-wise as we kind of get more collective information as we move forward in the next 10, 15 years.
Well, speaking of dodo birds, these guys need to go to, is it Knucklehead Island?
Knucklehead Island.
Well, the two men,
we sending, Deb?
Well, 2 men are due in court this afternoon on attempted murder charges for a road rage incident in Mims. That's in northern Brevard County Saturday evening. Volusia County Sheriff Mike Shitwood tells Fox 35 the men fired into an SUV that contained a family, including 3 children.
Kids in the car,
9 shots into the windshield. I mean, how nobody's dead? You know, God was smiling down on somebody.
Yeah, in the back seat were an 18-month-old, a 4-year-old, and a 6-year-old. No one was hurt. Chad Morrow and Chad McInich are also facing aggravated assault with a deadly weapon charges. And these guys are like in their early 50s and late 40s, so they should know better.
And they're both named Chad?
Chad.
Chad's had a bad weekend.
Yeah. Knucklehead Island for Chad squared.
And then down in South Florida, Miami police are investigating a bizarre situation where bullets pierced windows, dozens of stories in the air. The stray bullets shattered the windows on the 44th and 45th stories of a downtown condo.
What?
Yeah, and shattered glass landed on one mom's high chair that her child would have been sitting in.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and it may not have come from the ground level.
A resident of a high-rise building, looks like he discharged his firearm inside. We're still looking to see if it was intentional or an accidental.
Miami Police Chief Manny Morales says not only was no one hurt in the situation, but no one was shot this past holiday weekend in the city, too. Yay! Marine Patrol was out in force, and Morales said closing 4 islands to prevent boaters from leaving behind their garbage worked.
Wow.
Yeah, they closed 4 islands because they showed photos of it, and these things are just
messes.
Just messes. So
Yeah.
they're like, all right, if you can't play nice, then we're just going to shut it down, and nobody can go for the long Memorial Day weekend.
Give me that ball.
Speaking of the beach, a man is facing charges after a brawl broke out in a Pinellas County bar. Madeira Beach's Kenneth Alvin Davis III was arrested Sunday at the Undertow Beach Bar in St. Pete Beach. According to an arrest affidavit, he wanted to bring his dog into the bar, but the manager told him dogs weren't allowed.
There you go.
Davis and friends allegedly got unruly, and Davis allegedly bit the manager's finger.
Okay.
The manager allegedly responded by punching Davis in the face.
Okay, so far this is a normal afternoon. I'm waiting for the story.
That led Davis's friends and other bar employees to join in before the order was finally restored.
So a bar fight because a dog could not come into a bar that it was clearly posted that dogs can't come in.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The 27-year-old Davis is charged with disorderly intoxication. Yeah. Bet you're surprised, aren't you?
Oh, my God, man.
All right.
People are so ridiculous.
Something you love, Jimmy. More Starlink internet satellites are headed into orbit.
4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
They do this just for you. Yay, just for Jimmy.
I watched it today.
But, did you really?
Yeah, Sentinel does a great job. I get emails, breaking news from the Orlando Sentinel in my email, and it said, hey, lunch today at like 10:24. I looked at my watch. It was 10:22. I'm like, I guess I'll walk outside.
There you go. Got to see the launch.
2 minutes was long enough in that heat.
Right, exactly.
Seriously.
I respect you, construction and roofers and everyone who works outside. God bless you.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Hydrate.
And it was cool because Saturday night at the Corn Fest in Mount Dora, we looked up and saw the satellites.
Oh, wow, really?
Have you ever seen
patches of them? Yeah.
I've never caught it live.
I've seen
So
video of
cool.
it as they're coming over. It's really weird.
It's very weird because everyone's like, what is that in the sky? Because it's just this
like
long,
a drone show.
It is like a drone show. And then they just disappear. And that's the first time I've been able to see these Starlink satellites in person. Let's see. It was a successful launch this morning from the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station atop a Falcon 9 rocket. It was the 40th rocket launch from Florida Space Coast so far this year.
Wow, man.
Way on tap to get to those 100 launches.
They're letting them rip.
Yeah, they are. All right, Orange County pays respects to its war dead. A ceremony was held yesterday in Gotha at Woodlawn Memorial Park. About 400 people showed up, including Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings. He shared some remarks, as did Lake County Tax Collector Carrie Baker. The 31-year veteran who served in Operation Iraqi Freedom was the keynote speaker. Baker says it's our deep responsibility as Americans to express our most grateful thanks to those who, when the nation called, responded with bravery, courage, and determination.
There you go.
And speaking of that, one Orange County man who survived the Normandy invasion is set to return. Ocoee's Mel Jenner was in Winter Park yesterday for Memorial Day ceremony. This one at Glen Haven Memorial Park. On Friday, the 101-year-old will fly with other World War II vets to France. There, they're going to attend ceremonies June 6th to mark the 80th anniversary of D-Day. He flew a B-17 bomber during the invasion, and some of the memories are still vivid, he says. And the experience gave Jenner a bond he shares with few others. He tells Channel 9 it's just a wonderful feeling when you see a couple of veterans that have been in it together and are fighting through and give each other a big hug. Our thanks to that greatest generation.
No joke, yeah.
All right, well, one high-end Atlantic City casino is now offering nonstop scheduled helicopter service from New York City.
Okay.
Ocean has teamed up with aviation service Blade to offer round-trip chopper service from West 30th Street in Manhattan to the casino's rooftop helipad. Ocean Casino executives say there could be more round-trip flights in the future.
We're going to look into the need for a second flight as demand comes up. They'll bring a different clientele, someone who's willing to spend.
Ocean executives are downplaying the competition they're going to face when a casino opens down the road in the Big Apple. So far, there's, like I said, just one round-trip flight per weekend from Manhattan to the Ocean helipad with 6 seats for passengers. The helicopter service, pretty pricey, though, $695 each way.
Wow, really? Is that for the
Each
entire
way.
chopper, or is that each person?
Each person,
Oh,
each way.
Goodness.
$695.
Goodness.
The flights began on Memorial Day weekend and will run through Labor Day weekend. But they're saying, listen, if you can afford the helicopter, you're probably a baller, and that's the kind of clientele they want.
Hey, Jack, how long does it take to get from the shore of Jersey over to the city?
That would be about 3 hours.
3 hours? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the shore runs from the center of the state all the way south. So, I mean, you could probably, the first beach, Long Branch and Seaside area, Tom's River, 2 hours maybe.
Got it. Okay.
And good thing you saw Springsteen when you did. He's just had to postpone more shows to rest his voice per doctor's orders.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. All right. And
How dare that guy? What a loser.
Finally, speaking of
Look at me. I'm resting my voice. I'm 100.
on things in the music world, music fans will finally get a chance to hear a fabled album from the Wu-Tang Clan.
This is the one that Farmadouche bought, right?
Yep, the world's only copy of the hip-hop group's 2015 album, Once Upon a Time in Shaolin, will go on display at the Museum of Old and New Art. That's in Tasmania, Australia. Next month, former pharmaceutical executive and major douchebag Martin Shkreli bought the album for $2 million.
I didn't know he was in the military. Major douchebag.
At a 2015 auction, it was later sold to an art collective in 2021. Now, terms of the original sale stipulated the album cannot be commercially exploited until 2103.
88 years.
Excerpts of the album will be played during listening sessions twice a day starting June 15th until June 24th.
But you cannot record it. You can't take anything with you. They've only played a little bit of it ever. I think not long after Shkreli bought it, he put a couple excerpts from a couple of tunes out. But other than that, it's not been heard, I think, in its entirety by more than maybe a handful of people ever.
Yeah, exactly. So now you'll have listening sessions twice a day starting June 15th until June 24th. And now you all are officially welcome.
Thanks, Deb.
You're welcome.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Now, Jack went to see Todd Rundgren this weekend at the Plaza Live. Now, Todd Rundgren's been around for quite a while. One of his biggest hits, actually, I think was in the mid-70s, 74, 75.
Earlier.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think it was 73.
No.
Yeah, he's 75.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was interested to see not only how he looked, how he played, because he's a little bit older, and then kind of how the set went. We'll find out what that is next.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio, at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by Gringos Locos and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Ken, and Mike. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hey there, Central Florida. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast for the rest of our Tuesday. And for today, it's going to be another hot and muggy day with afternoon temperatures climbing into the mid-90s with a high of 94 degrees today in Orlando. We're also going to be tracking the potential of a few showers and thunderstorms. These will be very hit and miss and pretty spotty. They won't last all afternoon. And then as we head into the rest of the week, temperatures will remain on the hot side in the mid-90s for highs. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hey, DQ fans, the ultimate cookie blizzard treat is the dessert that has it all. With Oreo, Chips Ahoy, and Nutter Butter, this blizzard treat has everything cookie lovers dream of. Don't wait. This one-of-a-kind confection won't be here long. Only at participating DQ.
Can you believe May is almost over? June's almost here, and you know that means Florida's intense summer is right around the corner as well. But with new windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen, you can cut back on energy usage, boost your home's curb appeal, and increase your comfort. Renewal by Andersen makes that transition so easy for you thanks to a selection of beautiful, functional replacement windows and doors. And their windows and doors are built solid, too. That's because Renewal by Andersen's exclusive Fibrix product is chic, tough, very easy to maintain, and twice as strong as vinyl. Renewal by Andersen specializes in energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. So save money while beautifying your home with Renewal by Andersen. Now through the end of May, buy 2 windows and or patio doors and get the third 60% off. Plus 0 money down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 1 year. Go to rbafla.com for complete details. And they're hiring experienced window and door installers. Some restrictions apply. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
This Military Appreciation Month, Navy Federal Credit Union wants to celebrate our members who go above and beyond every single day. That's why we thought you might want to hear some special thank you messages from your friends and family.
I want to give a shout out to my brother AZ1 Archie Castillo.
Hi, I want to give a shout out to my friend Colin, who's currently serving in the Army. Thanks for all you do. Happy Military Appreciation Month.
And from all of us here, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Tired of hearing about rising costs and rising rates? International Diamond Center has the relief you need with a guaranteed best prices. And starting this Saturday, 0% interest financing. Yes, 0%. IDC rolls back interest rates so you can make any purchase and enjoy low monthly payments for 4 years without a dime in interest. And IDC showcases are packed. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants, and our largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer fashion jewelry. Pick any item, celebrate your love, get the value price you deserve, then spread your payments over 4 years. That $6,000 pair of diamond earrings is just $125 a month. That $12,000 engagement ring is just $250 a month. Everything's affordable with this amazing offer. 4 years, 0.0% financing. There's just one catch. This is a limited time offer just for the month of June. Don't wait. Let IDC help you get the jewelry you've been dreaming of at a price and payment you didn't think was possible. International Diamond Center. 4 Orlando locations. Details at shopidc.com. On approved credit.
With 3 generations and over 45 years of Florida experience, Handyman Roofing knows storms and hurricanes. We know how to evaluate storm-damaged roofs and not cause more damage. Handyman Roofing has the expertise to get your roof done. Plus, easy financing in case your insurance company is dragging its feet. With multiple emergency response teams ready, Handyman Roofing will be by your side now when you need it the most.
Knows how to get things done. Count on Handyman Roofing to get it done. Handyman Roofing to get it done.
Now, it's your time to make more money and be your own boss. Come to the Franchise Show on June 8th and 9th at the Orange County Convention Center to meet with the best money-making franchises. Learn how you can open a successful business. This life-changing event is your only chance to see all the hottest money-making opportunities in one place. Find the perfect business for you at the Franchise Show, presented by the Entrepreneur's Source. June 8th and 9th, the Orange County Convention Center. Get tickets at FloridaFranchiseShow.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day. But when we're driving, cooking, and working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Are you offended? Obviously, we're only kidding. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
Hey, this is Vicki from DeBerry. I just wanted to mention on the homeschool front topic that homeschooling is becoming more popular because our education system is becoming more terrible by the day. Teachers are overworked, underpaid, and are just really out there, and the school boards don't care.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
And so is Jack.
Hello.
It is currently raining like crazy here in Maitland, so if you're driving around, please be careful. Storms, of course, are going to be pretty much here every day until, let's say, December.
Oh, not to mention the National Hurricane Center is watching 3 tropical waves.
Already?
Damn season doesn't start till Saturday.
Cool, because I wanted my lawn to be watered. It's a bit crunchy.
Yeah.
But
what?
I did something different this weekend.
Okay.
Something the same yet different.
Ooh.
For your house?
For my house.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead.
And I had to borrow it from a neighbor.
You pressure washed?
No. I actually have my own pressure washer.
Do you really? Let's see.
I didn't mean to flex like that.
You
Don't reach out to me. I'm not lending it to you.
Okay, so it wasn't pressure washing. And you had to borrow this from your neighbor.
I did.
An airless paint gun.
No, you are so close, though.
Really?
Not really.
No, okay.
It is something that happens outside.
Okay.
Lawnmower.
Smoker.
Deb?
Lawnmower?
Yes.
What? You have a lawnmower.
It's not running right now.
Oh, God, dude. That's a normal borrow, though. That's a normal thing you can borrow from a neighbor.
But it's something different. It was electric.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have one of those.
Real? Well, you have a lawn like it's a rug, right?
It's
the size of a rug.
I loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, why? Because of the noise?
One thing, I did it at 8 o'clock in the morning. I wanted to beat the heat, and
and
the noise was fine.
Yeah,
it makes a little more noise than that, but noise was fine. You just hit the button, it just
goes.
running.
Yeah.
It's so great. You look, and it's lighter.
Okay.
And so it's easier
to maneuver.
Yeah.
It's just like a 1-horse motor sitting on top of with a blade or something. And it's got to have some kind of clutch drive or something, doesn't it?
It's got something. It said brushless.
Did you find that it?
That's all I know.
Now, when you get the mower going and the grass is wet, you got to do that whole trick. When the motor starts to die, you got to push the handle down, lift the mower up so it can catch its breath.
Yeah.
And then kind of go some more. Did you have that problem with the electric one, or was it?
Nope.
No, really, huh?
But I don't cut wet grass.
Yeah. Extension cord or battery?
It's battery.
It's battery, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Extension cord. Oh, they've been doing that since the 70s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They still have
this
extension
battery,
cord.
buddy.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
No one wants to be tethered.
How long does a battery last?
I did a whole cut.
For the front yard?
Whole house. Front and back. It was about 45, 50 minutes.
Damn, really?
Mhm.
And you never had any battery lag? It never went down?
0.
How much charge did you have left when you got done?
I have no idea.
Oh, you didn't know. You didn't pay attention.
No, there's no indicator on it.
Yeah, there's got to be an indicator. You just didn't see it?
You didn't need to.
What kind of electric mower doesn't have an indicator? Now, is this one where you can take the battery out and have a drill or a table saw or something as well? It's one of these things where they make everything kind of crappy, but it all runs off the same battery?
Right. So
I think Ryobi does that.
It is a Ryobi.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this battery is interchangeable with their other tools. Probably, unless it's of a size that wouldn't make that practical. But
So you're going to get one now? Or are you going to keep borrowing his?
Yeah,
I do that with Code
How
Black.
many times can you borrow someone's mower before it becomes too much?
Well, I got to tell you, I've used Code Black's chop saw way more than Code Black has used his own chop saw. I borrow that damn thing like every other month just cause.
Yeah.
So I think
you borrowed his chop saw so much when he wanted it back, you kind of felt put off.
Yeah, you want my chop saw back?
Yeah.
I would do this. I'd borrow it one more time. I think you have two, because what you could do the first time is, hey, mower broke. No problem, dog. You can use it. When you go back the second time to use it, I think you have to go with like, hey, look, I'm still kind of testing out other mowers, or I'm looking at other brands. Do you mind if I use yours one more time? I'm trying to solidify which one I'm going to get. I think after that, you're done. After that, you just have to rent it from him. Hey, here's $40. Can I use your mower for 40 minutes?
So here's a challenge. I have a weed whacker and a lawnmower. Both are not running right now.
All right. And the gas, though, right? Both of those?
And I'm ready to get rid of them.
Okay.
Can I just get rid of them? Do I have to sell them? Do I have to give them away? Or do I have to repair them and then sell them?
Well, I think do you think you've gotten the due use out of them for what you paid for it?
Yeah.
Because I've been told, Deb, if you buy like a weed eater, a normal weed eater, not like a Steel or something like that, you buy a normal like Walmart weed eater, if you get 2 seasons out of it, they say that you've gotten your money's worth.
Oh, so check this out. The Ryobi weed eater I bought at a pawn shop in 1999.
Damn.
And it just
damn. Did you pay like $40 for it?
And probably.
Yeah.
And it just
those little motors are pretty resilient though, man.
I replaced the carb on it last year, and it ran good this year. And right now I don't know what's wrong with it, but I had a friend who was moving from his lake house to Baldwin Park, and he gave me his weed eater, and I hadn't used it until
I hear this setup also had multiple like accessories too, right? There was the one motor; it could run a weed eater, it could run a trimmer.
Maybe I don't think he gave me the multiple accessories.
He probably tried to sell you that on the side.
He was a very nice guy and gave it to me, but that
can't be Jim then.
Couldn't get it started, so I bought the carb for that. $16, got a new carb, popped it on there, changed the diaphragm and stuff. Thing starts like runs like a charm,
like a bat out of hell. Those things run.
So now I want to get rid of the old one.
Yeah.
Just parts. What do you do? Just
here's the thing.
Facebook Marketplace, come and get it.
Yeah.
Put it at the curb.
Put it at the curb.
Yeah.
Look, man, I got to tell you, those little motors though are a lot of fun. I knew dudes that used to make little skateboards out of them. They would mount those motors in the back and like do little skateboard things where you could drive it around and you could use the just like the tether thing.
Yeah.
The gas power thing would also run the gas. No brakes though. Oh, dangerous as hell. You don't want to get that thing going about 20 and not figure out where you're going to go next. Todd Rundgren.
Was a concert Friday night, Plaza Live. This guy has been active since he had a band in the mid to late 60s. As a solo artist, 72 or 73, he had a couple of his hits.
Yeah, Hello, It's Me was a big one.
Yep, definitely one of them. Bang on a Drum was another one. But he's been producing music. He's been experimental using computers, has done movie soundtracks. So he's been out there. The crowd, they had a really good crowd.
Really, yeah. Really, he's kind of a mysterious dude. He's been in the game a long time and has had his hands in a lot of different projects.
Absolutely. It was almost a sellout. Went there. And, of course, I wanted to see, some of the hits. The Yacht Rock stuff is really what I was after, which is I Saw the Light and Hello, It's Me, right?
Yeah.
Those are the two songs I was waiting for. 21 effing songs later. Oh. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. 22 hours.
Oh, my God.
You had to sit through 2 hours. Because something I'll inevitably do is bring up setlist.fm. You ever use that?
Yeah. No, I don't.
Setlist.fm, whatever live concert you're at. I'll look. It'll show you the tour. It follows the tour of all touring artists, and you can see what they did in Greensboro, what they did in Tampa.
Rush, you should use that to find out what Kiss was going to be playing in all the shows, right?
I do it for Springsteen as well, and so, then it's like, what's different from this than Miami, so it's like he followed that set list, 21 songs till he got to the encore. And then he had 3 hits in the 70s, I Saw the Light, Hello, It's Me. His first song in the encore was a montage. And he did all 3 songs. So you got like a minute of each song, and it felt like you rushed right through. And it was just like...
And then he got out.
And then it was 2 more songs, and then that was it. Hey, and he didn't even play Bang on the Drum.
So, Jack, how are you feeling about your rendering experience now as you ragged on me for my Tool experience?
Yeah. Well, I don't think I ragged on you.
I think you ragged
that's
on me.
more karma for you.
It felt raggy. It felt very raggy.
Yeah. I had to go back. I wanted to do a special intro for Captain Zog Radio this Sunday because I was so annoyed with that concert.
Yeah, dude.
And then I played both songs in its entirety for everyone who went to the show and anyone who didn't. I was like, this is why we were there.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I played both songs.
How'd he look?
Yeah, a little. He's older, 75.
Yeah.
You know, he moved around fine. He actually sounded fine. He can't hit those high notes.
Sure.
You know, and maybe that's honestly probably why he kind of rushes through those songs because he can't hit those notes. But he had, you know, he was playing his guitar. He was doing his old man dancing, and that was fine.
I like if the Jack did it himself.
Yeah, it was
double thumbs over one shoulder, double thumbs over the other shoulder.
I'll show you. It was like
There
this.
you
You know,
go.
if you're watching on YouTube, you
the
can see
old rendering.
My wife has been doing it all week, and it's pretty damn funny. You know,
that's great.
But if you went now, the sound on those songs, if you are familiar with them, you know, I think you really enjoyed it. It sounded fine. But for me, it was all foreign material.
Yeah.
You know, and so for me, it wasn't what I was after. But if you were a fan of his more recent stuff, then,
Sure.
you know, you loved it.
What the crowd looked like.
Like every concert I go to nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
like
not
they
good.
Everyone older than me.
Like they emptied the villages in there.
You know,
Like
God
they had
love
the
it.
villages in a salt shaker and just kind of sprinkled some into the plaza that
And
night.
it looks like every Springsteen concert I go to. You know, when it's like I'm like, wow, I'm skewing on the younger end of this demographic here. Yeah.
Whole lot of napped before the shows.
Yeah.
Home by 10.
I do.
A whole lot of home by 10. Whole lot of I could be playing bridge.
I did see there might have been more old guys with long hair than women.
Really?
You know,
Wow. Oh, still living it, huh?
I do like the old guys who won't give up on that
I
long
love
hair.
that.
Yeah.
I hope it's implants too, so it's very brittle. Like that old Christmas tinsel, you know? All right, 407-916-1041. Back in a second with What'd You Do That's New. Hang loose.
Real radio. Real radio.
104.1. From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Heavy traffic reported on I-4 this afternoon, east and westbound by the major attractions exits. Looking at a vehicle fire westbound on I-4 at Lee Road, blocking 2 left lanes and causing stop-and-go delays on the interstate. Heavy traffic continues due to an earlier crash that was westbound on the 408 at the Tampa Avenue toll booth. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Nasal Guard. People who suffer from allergies use Nasal Guard to prevent them. Nasal Guard's innovative gel and spray products protect you from all airborne allergens, no matter what the forecast holds. Visit Amazon, Walmart, or nasalguard.com today. Breathe better this spring. Nasalguard.com.
Get ready for a night of laughter that's bigger, bolder, and beastlier than ever before. Join us June 27th at the Funny Bone in Orlando for the Monster Night of Comedy, presented by the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind, and featuring your favorite monsters from Real Radio. Hosted by Russ Rollins with the Angel of Boom DJing the event and headlined by Ryan Holmes. Don't miss out on special appearances by Jeff Kaufman, Daisy Del Toro, Amber Nova, Angelique the Dancing Queen, and other surprise guests. Get ready for a full night of monster comedy. General admission tickets on sale now. Get ready to roar with laughter Thursday, June 27th. What else are you going to do that Thursday night? Watch old guys bicker on TV? Tickets on sale now at realradio.fm/comedy.
Do you have a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more that you don't need? Well, don't lapse or surrender your policy. You might be sitting on a gold mine. That's right. You may be able to sell all or part of your life insurance policy to Coventry for cash, or a combination of cash and coverage with no future premiums, even a term policy. Call Coventry Direct at 800-411-8300 or visit coventrydirect.com to find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. That's 800-411-8300. For over 25 years, we've helped thousands of people sell their policies, and we can probably help you too. Call us today at 800-411-8300. Or visit CoventryDirect.com to find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. That's 800-411-8300. Call now.
In this week's Marketers Report, Angela Zapata, CMO Hyundai Motor America, discusses measuring audio.
The measurement capability within audio, I think, surprised all of us. We have seen a huge return on our investment. Seeing real numbers has helped us continue to invest.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the data, audiences, and influencers you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Just dial pound law. That's all. Morgan & Morgan, America, and now the universe's largest injury law firm.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Haley, quote, "Navage is the best thing I bought. I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for weeks. I bought Navage and it's amazing." Or this one, "I use Navage every night, could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats, and before I found Navage, I was a clogged mess. Now I breathe so much better." Unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Tired of hearing about rising costs and rising rates? International Diamond Center has the relief you need with a guaranteed best prices. And starting this Saturday, 0% interest financing. Yes, 0%. IDC rolls back interest rates so you can make any purchase and enjoy low monthly payments for 4 years without a dime in interest. And IDC showcases are packed. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants, and our largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer fashion jewelry. Pick any item, celebrate your love, get the value price you deserve, then spread your payments over 4 years. That $6,000 pair of diamond earrings is just $125 a month. A $12,000 engagement ring is just $250 a month. Everything's affordable with this amazing offer. 4 years, 0.0% financing. There's just one catch. This is a limited time offer just for the month of June. Don't wait. Let IDC help you get the jewelry you've been dreaming of at a price and payment you didn't think was possible. International Diamond Center. 4 Orlando locations. Details at shopidc.com. On approved credit.
This earful of Rail Radio is sponsored by RC Hill Mitsubishi, Highway 1792 in DeLand.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyounitus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. This is why YouTube was created at Jim Colbert Show on YouTube. Subscribe and watch.
Good evening, JCS. H-Top Steve here.
What's up?
You were talking about the heat earlier and how hot it is. Jimmy, you can relate to me on this one. Screen printing, that's what I do. And I'm standing next to a dryer that's about 325 degrees for 10 hours a day. It is hot. Later, guys.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, crew.
just to touch base with the homeschooling thing. My wife and I homeschooled our daughter from the time she was in 5th grade on, and what an amazing experience. There's so many more options for kids. It's not what it used to be. People need to understand that. It is a great program, especially Florida. You guys have a great day. Great show.
Thanks,
you.
buddy. Appreciate that very much. I made a statement earlier, fired up at least one of our listeners. What I was saying is I want to see what this generation of homeschool people taking advantage of the voucher system in Central Florida and Florida in general, to see what that looks like in 10, 15 years as these graduates start pouring out into the workplace, to see how they acclimate to different environments when they have to go out and get a job with their homeschool education. That's all.
Yeah, and my concern is that I want people, I'm hoping that people are doing it for the right reason, knowing what they are getting into. And it sounded like that talk back is like, they had an understanding and that level of commitment, as opposed to just getting caught up in all this negative fervor about public education and saying, oh, screw it, I'll just do it myself.
Right, yeah.
And not really thinking about what an awesome responsibility that they are now undertaking.
Yeah, the thing, this is always the issue, because you hear the homeschool thing. I'll tell you what, we'll talk about this in a few minutes. Let's do what you do that's new.
If you must, you must.
What'd you do that's new? What'd you do that's new? Hey! If we only knew something new to do, we're relying on you. Tell us something new brought to you by Clausman Law.
That's right, Clausman Law, KLAUSMAN Law.com. Offices right there in Winter Park, 407-917-1718. Car crash, call Clausman. Glenn is very good at it, one of the most respected attorneys in all of Central Florida when it comes to car crashes and insurance law. He knows that stuff inside and out. And, of course, you're going to hear Glenn on Thursdays for Colbert Court a little bit later this week. What'd you do that's new every Tuesday at 4 o'clock. One of the members of the show will pick something for the other members to watch, read, or listen to. We'll do that, and then we'll convene on the following Tuesday to discuss it and then move on to the next member. It happened to be my week to choose this week. We'll find out what Deb has to offer right after this. All right. Bless you, by the way, Deb.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
Allergies are crazy right now.
I know.
For a lot of people, they're a little nuts right now. And what I gave to you guys was something I've been fascinated with for years. I started talking about this on the Monsters when I was on that show probably 10 or 15 years ago, how I was fascinated with abandoned spaces. It didn't have to be a building or anything in particular, just an abandoned space. As a matter of fact, I just put a Facebook post up probably 2 or 3 weeks ago about an abandoned or furniture factory in my hometown, where they had the steam engine still up there on the slab.
Oh, right.
And I put some of those up, and it got a lot of response from people who had experienced that very thing, knew that when it was running. Of course, now not running, it's demolished. But this was about a town that had a kind of a unique story called Kitsault, British Columbia, up in Canada. And basically, this entire town was only accessible via water, and it was built to support a mine that was producing a chemical or a product or an element, it was short for Molly.
Yeah,
but
every time they said Molly, I was like,
yeah.
hey, wait a minute.
The drug, but no,
Come
it's
on now.
molybdenum.
Yeah.
Bidenum.
And what it does is it hardens steel, increases its tensile strength, makes it harder, and they would add that to it. And there for a minute, they thought it was going to be a really big, booming business. So they basically built this town around this. And what'd you guys think?
It was fascinating for a couple of reasons. One, the power is still on.
Yes.
I mean, and it's had caretakers.
Yeah, this is a town of 1,200 people.
And it was to see, it literally looked like aliens just popped in, picked everybody up, and left.
Yeah.
They left behind books. I mean, to see the old-fashioned alarm clock from the early 80s, it's literally...
I will tell you how well preserved it is. It feels like you could move 1,200 people in there tomorrow and with a little bit of yard work, be ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and it was fascinating.
It
Absolutely.
was.
Because this is a slice of life from, 1980 to 83. That window of time, that's what you're looking at, that all the construction. But it is bizarre because they had caretakers for 20 years, then it was purchased, and this person has spent millions. It's still abandoned, but maintaining it, and I was looking at they're showing this, the view of all these abandoned homes, and they have new roofs.
I know.
And some they've been replacing the shingles and doing some upkeep on it.
The roads weren't grown over.
No.
I know.
So there's an eerie quality to it because when you look inside, it's not like everything's covered in dust. It's like that looks like it's brand new.
Like the daycare,
almost.
you're expecting little kids to come running out of the room.
The library still has all the books in it, and there were books on the tables from when the school was let out the day before. They basically not evacuated, but everybody left. There was no business. I mean, the mine that basically was there to employ every person that worked in that city is gone now. The mine shut down. Did you guys remember how long the entire city was operational?
18 months.
18 months.
Yeah, that was it.
They
that
built
was crazy.
an entire city with a mall, 2 rec centers, a school, a 2-story hospital, multiple houses, nice houses, a power company, a phone company, a post office, and that S was in business for 18 months.
They had a mini mall.
With the Sears.
But the
Lord of the Rings lasted longer.
The hospital, they still have the equipment still in there, but also, I mean, there's medicine there, and this is 40 years old.
That's
I don't,
what
I
I'm
don't think they
thinking.
can. Yeah.
Well, I was wondering, I'm sure there's got to be, a community around there that could use an x-ray machine that's just sitting in this hospital not being used.
The problem is they said it in the context of this. If you didn't go to that hospital, the next hospital was 2.5 hours away.
Yeah.
So that was and you can only get to it by jet boat because it is privately owned. Like Jack said, the guy was going to turn it into kind of an eco resort. Because it's so separated from any life really, and you have to get permission to go there. That's why when they were filming it, nobody was around.
Right?
Could you imagine, guys, being jet boated into a city, and all you do is explore all day long.
Yeah.
No one's going to bother you. No one's going to be there. All the houses have power. You can go in and turn the lights on. The grocery store, the coolers are still there.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
I don't know if that sound was real, but that there was something running. Like, I don't know if it was the cooler that was actually still running.
I think it's
and
the
there was
lights.
the lights might have been the lights.
Yeah, because what happens is those amplifiers go bad and it goes has that weird sound like they use in horror movies. It looked like a damn horror movie.
It did.
That's what they should do. They should use it as a movie. But how do you get everything up there?
I think this guy is building a doomsday retreat. It's like when everything finally goes south.
Yeah, you ain't getting there.
No, he's got his little island and it's all
There you
set
go.
up. I mean, everything, the whole infrastructure is built.
Incredible, man. I thought it was fascinating. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It is fascinating, and they did a good job because it's only 16 minutes long.
Yeah.
And I think they tell a really good, comprehensive story about what happened to the city, how it was built, where it's going, what's the plan for it. And it is weird because when it said, city's been sitting exactly like it was for 83. And what this really reminded me of is something a little bit more morbid, and I don't mean to trigger anybody out there. I had a friend years and years ago whose sister was killed in a car accident, right? And these people are some of the best people you'll ever meet in your entire life. And, it was obviously traumatic. I mean, she was like, the shining star of the family kind of thing, and was only like 19 or 20 years old. She was actually at the University of Florida when it happened. And let me tell you, they pulled that door shut on her bedroom, and they did not change anything. I mean, that's what this city reminded me of.
Right.
Like a parent that lost a child or a child that lost a parent they couldn't get over. They pulled the door shut, they sealed it up, and they never went in there again. Exactly how it was that day in 1983. And you can see what the bank said.
Yeah.
October at noon on the 12th.
Yep.
This is done.
We're closed.
We're not talking about for vacation. We're done. Everybody's leaving. Just insane. I also thought about the scene that must have been like when everybody's leaving or as they start piling out of there, what the conversations must have been like. Incredible, man. Hey, check it out. It's at JimColbertLive.com. The master list for what you do that's new.
Yep.
It's actually called Exploring Ghost Town Frozen in Time, Kitsault, British Columbia. 16 minutes long. I think you'll really enjoy it. Deb, what do you got for us next week?
Well, I have a 6-minute and 34-second video called Cleaning Up the Great Pacific Garbage Patch with a Gigantic Net.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Have you heard about the...
I've seen that machine that they have that floats out there that kind of does it on its own.
It's an interesting watch. Let's just put it that way.
All right, very good.
I'm trying to clean up this garbage patch and just learning about, like, there's 5 of them around the world.
This is the plastic island thing that we've talked about for many, many years?
Yeah, exactly. Twice the size of Texas.
Yeah. What?
Twice the size of Texas. And that's one of
5
4
of them?
of the garbage patches. And
Unbelievable.
when you see the garbage that this net collects, that's just out there floating. It's
simply amazing.
It's sad, and at the same time, it's hopeful because the young people behind it are, taking the challenge head on.
Yeah, good. Well, I'll check it out for sure. I enjoy it. Again, if you want to learn what that is, it's jimcolbertlive.com. Go to the What'd You Do That's New master list. It'll be right there where you can click right through it for sure. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Tomatoes are about to get this. I'll tell you what that is next.
What you do that's new, brought to you by Glenn Klossman, KLAUSMANLAW.com.
Proudly sponsored since day one by Glenn Klossman, KlossmanLaw.com.
Bye.
Stop and go traffic reported on I-4 this afternoon, east and westbound by the major attractions exits. Looking at especially heavy eastbound delays on I-4 due to accident activity blocking the shoulder near Osceola Polk Line Road. No major delays to report for those traveling on the Beach Line or the Greenway this afternoon. If you see any traffic problems, just make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured, the choice is easy.
Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing. Made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories. All without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver. All the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew. 30 seconds. That's it. Done. Peace.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Tired of hearing about rising costs and rising rates? International Diamond Center has the relief you need with a guaranteed best prices. And starting this Saturday, 0% interest financing. Yes, 0%. IDC rolls back interest rates so you can make any purchase and enjoy low monthly payments for 4 years without a dime in interest. And IDC showcases are packed. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants, and our largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer fashion jewelry. Pick any item, celebrate your love, get the value price you deserve, then spread your payments over 4 years. That $6,000 pair of diamond earrings is just $125 a month. That $12,000 engagement ring is just $250 a month. Everything's affordable with this amazing offer. 4 years, 0.0% financing. There's just one catch. This is a limited time offer just for the month of June. Don't wait. Let IDC help you get the jewelry you've been dreaming of at a price and payment you didn't think was possible. International Diamond Center. 4 Orlando locations. Details at shopidc.com. Unapproved credit.
My wife and I we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S., over 15 million this year alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss even when you monitor your credit. If your identity's stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% their first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at LifeLock.com.
Last season, millions tuned into the Betrayal podcast to hear a shocking story of deception. I'm Andrea Gunning,
and now we're sharing an all-new story of betrayal. Justin Rutherford. Doctor, father, family man. It was the perfect cover to hide behind.
I was just like, what in the world is going on?
Listen to Betrayal on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Betrayal and start listening.
In this week's Marketers Report, Chris Brandt, Chief Marketing Officer at Chipotle Mexican Grill, weighs in on the power of audio.
We've used audio to reinforce what we're showing on TV, what we're showing in other digital channels. When your priority is driving reach, boy, everybody seems to listen to the radio.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, conversations, trusted influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
The free iHeart app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Real Fun Beach Radio. Real Fun Beach Radio is commercial-free all summer and gives you that toes in the sand beach music vibe 24/7. I'm picking up good vibrations. Just open the free iHeart app, search Real Fun Beach Radio, and start listening. Free never sounded so good.
For all your windows and doors, go to FASWD.com. That's FASWD.com.
There's only one place to watch this nonsense. At Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Jack, welcome to the life of having a battery-powered brushless lawnmower. It's fantastic. I have one as well with Ryobi, and I don't have a lot of space, so it does really well for what I needed to do for my front and backyard. And it folds away beautifully in my garage, so I can still park both cars. It's fantastic. So yeah, enjoy it.
Listen, Jack, you've been more than kind to me. I inherited 2 lawnmowers from my neighbor before they moved out. One is a Lawn Boy, and you're more than welcome to have it, actually. And it runs.
Good job,
Let me
Jack.
know.
Oh,
Good
nice.
job, Jack.
Look at that.
Mission accomplished. Good job, buddy.
Someone
you know what?
sounds jelly.
You know what, dude? That guy right over there, that guy's smart. That guy's so smart. Oh, my God. I had to cut my mower, cut my lawn with electric. Oh, woe's me. If I only had a free mower. Boom. Larry grabs said bait, takes it to the bottom, fights nothing, comes right back to the top and just hands it away.
Please know that move is not above me.
Yeah, yeah, trust me. Yeah.
However, this time I was psyched. My next mower is going to be electric, but I wasn't just wondering, do I fix the one I have and move on?
Wow.
Or just put it to the curb?
I bet if Larry had an electric mower to give away, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Now it's
you know
tough.
why? Jack would be getting the info right now.
Now it's tough because I just been offered a free gas powered one. It's like, well, what do you do? It's like, that's
We know
weird.
exactly what you're going to do. You're going to take the free gas-powered mower, and you'll just chalk it up to getting an electric the next time this one fails.
I'm going to be honest with you. It's just a matter of time, I guess, because Winter Park's already started this, right? It's just a matter of time before they start making a lot of these mowers and accessories electric anyway, just because of the noise and stuff in these real affluent neighborhoods. You know, they shut down the gas-powered blowers in Winter Park.
Yeah.
It's funny because
But they let the weed eaters go, and they're just the same exact engine.
A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan, they record in the daytime, and it's in that Baldwin Park area.
God
and
almighty.
Daniel often would complain about the fact that the landscapers would be right outside the window as they're recording.
It's perpetual, too.
Yeah,
I had that
yeah.
same exact situation. It's perpetual. They're always either pressure washing or painting or mowing. It's constant.
Ugh.
It's constant. It never stops. It never, ever stops over there. It's one of the other. They're either pressure washing, they're painting, or they are mowing.
That would drive me
it's
crazy.
It did. Therefore, I picked up and hauled my ass out of there.
Yeah, you did.
All right, 407-916-1041. I'm going to put the tomato bit on pause because it's a lame-ass story anyway. I had it as a filler. I don't even know why I plugged it. But I do want to talk about this this homeschooling thing because I do find this interesting. And the reason why is this, right? So we hear the homeschooling thing, and look, I get it. Like, I do understand. If you're in an area where the schools in your in your neighborhood don't really fit what you want, or you don't think they provide the education, but you love the neighborhood and you want to get a voucher, I guess fine, get the voucher, right? It is still a weird system because of the way the tax base is built, right? But with that said, my issue with it really is you may get the ABCs 1, 2, 3s. But the problem I have with it is, and I know this to be the case, by the way, because I pulled my kids out of a private school for this reason, is because they're only around primarily the kind of people you want them to be around. And the problem is you don't really get or understand how other people from other areas and other diversities roll through life. Now, I know that word diversity is a real trigger word now, but it really doesn't have to be, because really the idea of diversity is simply understanding how other people roll in the world and how that can work in conjunction or not in conjunction with how you roll in the world. And solving those problems at a really young age allows you to be a much more well-rounded person in the workplace. That's really what I'm concerned with. If these people are perpetually around a group of people they grew up with, they know only, their entire life is circled around this simple group of people that they want to be around, which is no problem. But when you roll that out into the world and the only interaction you've had was with other people like you, it's going to make things difficult.
Ideally, we can hear from people who have homeschooled their kids.
Absolutely.
But I believe to be the case is when you homeschool, you can still take advantage of the extracurricular activities that your public school system has to offer, whether it's competing in sports that they offer at that age-appropriate level in the public schools, or in the drama programs and some of those after-school programs, you can actually be part of that, even if you're homeschooled.
Yes, and to be honest with you, I did not understand it was that diverse. Like, I didn't realize you could do it. So do you believe that a lot of those kids do that? Because isn't the idea of doing a voucher school to be able to control the entire environment that your kid is learning in?
You know what? As I've been thinking about it since we started talking about this an hour ago, it's like, well, if you think about what has the past year of news, 2 years of news been in education, specifically when it comes to Florida, it's, Governor DeSantis and his, Parents' Rights in Education Act, which is, has been labeled the Don't Say Gay bill, and also with the restriction on books. I mean, people see that Florida is just, zooming past all the other states with the number of books being removed from libraries. They say, well, listen, I'm starting to feel I don't have control. Although that bill is designed to give parents control, as a parent, I'm starting to feel like I'm losing control on my child's education, because people without kids in the school can challenge books and have them removed.
Yeah.
Right.
Teachers are being penalized if they steer from a course. They're being told that they should not be, paying attention to pronouns. And maybe they feel that, well, at least if I'm homeschooling, then I'm in charge. I'm the Board of Ed, as opposed to dealing with the Board of Ed they may not agree with.
Yeah, I would think that's exactly why they do it. I mean, because you don't agree with the way it rolls in the classroom.
Well, the other thing, too, is, there was that recent survey that found, 67% of teachers
feel unsafe at their own job.
Feel unsafe. They're literally terrified about going into work because they've been attacked by students. And even though we talk about middle school students being the worst human beings on the planet, the majority of the teachers, their experiences were with elementary school age children, like second graders.
Yeah, you can't
hitting
smack
their
them back.
teachers.
I met a teacher this weekend at that graduation party, and I asked her what grade she teaches, and she said 11th and 12th. And I said, you got lucky, because back in the day that would have been the worst thing you get, because teenagers are starting to feel themselves a little bit, but it's not like that now. It's like these middle schoolers now are like feral.
Yeah, exactly.
Like wolf children.
Yeah.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Yeah, Jack.
And to your point that you brought up earlier, you get both. You get all sides of it, because guess what? When every household is their own Board of Ed, you are going to get a wildly different, a whole spectrum of different experiences.
Right.
And the one who texted in says they know quite a few people that were homeschooled. And when you go from kindergarten until you graduate, those kids are very sheltered with that know very little about the outside world. Now, that's not the case at all, but that will be the case with some. Because you have a lack of consistency in the level of education that they're getting.
That's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, that's why I'm saying. I mean, when you factor everything in, when they start rolling out these homeschool kids, I wonder how they do with the entrance test for college. Are they better at it? Are they worse at it? Do a greater percentage of homeschool kids? Because you would assume, and again, this is an assumption, you would assume that if your kid was homeschooled, they would have a much greater opportunity to get into a college program, right? Because you've isolated everything you want to do with a kid. You've taken away all of the distractions.
Yeah.
You've taken away all the stuff from school, all the stuff that the bad kids bring to school. You've eliminated all that. So theoretically, I mean, this is what I would think. I don't know about you guys. Theoretically, I would think that homeschool kids would be exponentially more prepared to go into college than your public school system.
We see that in the spelling bee.
Do we really?
Yeah.
With the Indian kids? And
well, whoever is the,
it's almost always an Indian or Asian kid.
Yeah, the top is usually they are homeschooled.
Yeah. Really?
That's what I've noticed anecdotally is that it's the winner every year is usually it's
right.
It seems like year after year they're homeschooled.
But in that same sense, again, unless you're going into a very, very focused sense of study, whether it be in medicine or science, I mean, where you're always going to be around people where the intellect will overrule everything, every other social aspect, the intellect will overrule that, right? Like once you get into that higher level of education, the diversity thing almost doesn't even matter. It's the intellect expectation is so great that it doesn't really matter what your background is. You can do this work and so few people can do it. It kind of really rises above that. Would you agree?
Yes.
I think it does.
Yeah.
But I mean, you would agree with that, right?
Yeah, that's less about socialization and more about performance, right?
That's my point. But my point would be, theoretically, like I said, my original statement was, and this, somebody's called it out on the texting service. My original statement was, I'm interested to see how well this first wave of voucher graduates does in the real world. Because I don't know that being homeschooled and being at home with the same 4 or 5 kids, because we know that neighborhoods do this, is one of those things where it prepares you well enough for the world that's going to have a bunch of people that you didn't encounter as a kid, that you didn't go to school with, that didn't tell you about how their dad is or how their mom is, or didn't tell you about how their religion is or their other friend's religion is. You go to school, all you know is this blinder kind of sight of how the world is. Now, again, this is my assumption. I'm not saying this. I'm actually looking for information here.
Right. And I think it's just, you're going to get some of that, yes, but you're also going to get, the other end of the spectrum because it's going to be varied. And it's, not
that's the problem.
And that's it. It's going to be, an experience that's unique to each household, and there may be someone who excels at teaching, at doing homeschooling, and their kid gets a much better education than what we are currently offering in the public education system.
But that has a lot to do with the parent that's providing it too, right? Like you were just saying?
Guess what?
Yeah.
That's your teacher and your board of ed.
That's right. And your discipline and your dean
and it's different with every household.
Yeah.
And that's why you're losing that consistency. Now, I guess there is a curriculum to follow. And I guess standardized testing kind of lets you know where everyone relates compared to everyone else.
Right.
So I assume there's some follow-up with that. But
can you excel? What I'm saying is, can you excel? Like my mom could have never homeschooled me because she only herself barely had a high school education. What could she possibly teach me when I get into like 11th grade really advanced mathematics or science?
Right.
What is she going to be able to do? Who's going to answer those questions? That's really what I'm asking. By the way, 407-916-1041. That's 407-916-1041. Love to hear your opinion.
Yeah. And again, it's, but there's also going to be, someone who has studied to be a teacher and now they're a parent, and it's like, well, I'm qualified to do this.
Yeah, I could get that for sure.
So but because those are so different, you'd have different experiences.
Do you think the kids, by the way, do you think they get a choice? Do you think parents who homeschool give their kids the choice to be homeschooled or not? Or do you believe that they just go, hey, you're being homeschooled now? Or do you think that starts with the parent or the child most of the time, Deb?
I think it would depend. I think it would depend on, is the child being bullied?
Yeah.
And the parent is realizing that the school, isn't taking enough of a proactive approach. So they, maybe ask the kid, would you prefer to be homeschooled so you don't have to deal with your bully anymore?
Yeah.
It's interesting, though. Someone texted us and said that they are public school assistant principal here. About 8 times out of 10, homeschool kids who get enrolled back in public school are about 2 grade levels behind and completely socially disabled.
Yeah. That's the thing I really worry about. And again, I don't want you, again, a voucher, I could understand where a voucher program could work in an isolated scenario, but I'm with Jack on this. I would think that to receive a voucher of that nature, that the school that would receive the money that you're going to get from the state and then enroll your child would give you an equal to or better than education that you would receive in any public school. I would think that would be the bare minimum you would want as a parent to pull your child out of school and put them in one of these schools that we've heard really kind of horror stories about some of them. And then some of them you hear good things about.
Yeah, but I mean, it's, a lack of consistent standards.
That's the problem, I believe,
and
right?
And then you're going to have a populace that, some people said that, some are being taught that the earth is only 5,000 years old.
Right,
and,
yeah. That's very biblical stuff. And what I was about to say that very thing. I mean, the kids may come out knowing a lot about the Bible, and that's great. Look, I have no problem with you knowing about your faith. The problem is, how are you going to apply that in the real world when it comes to getting a job?
And keeping it.
And then being competitive and understanding kind of how those things that you learn really work into the world that we live in, where you can earn a living and make your way through. And then, do the same thing with your kids if you want. All right, 407-916-1041. Let me get my glasses on so I can. All right, there we go. Hey, Sarah, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi there. Am I on?
You are.
Okay, I'm not on speaker, right? Because I know I'm not supposed to be on speaker.
Yeah, ma'am, you're on the air.
Okay. Hi. Hi, Jim and Deborah and everybody. How are you guys doing?
Hey, doing great.
Okay, good. This is first-time caller. I love your show.
Thank
love
you.
Everybody there. I was calling because I'm a little bit different because I was, first in my life, I was in public school system. My mother took me out of it, but my mother had a degree in education. And then she homeschooled me, and we lived out west, so we just moved around. And then when I finally got my diploma, I was actually just I had to go into Lake Tech here in Florida. And they said, "Oh, you already passed." And I'm like, "Okay, guess my mom taught me good."
All right.
But I was cultured, so I went. My mom traveled me all around. It's kind of a different story.
Yeah, I got you. I appreciate your call, Sarah. Thank you very much.
Cool.
All right, 407.
And that's good. But traveling is a great education because you talk about meeting different people of all different types, and that is a great education in and of itself.
It is for sure.
And she was lucky because her mom was a teacher.
Yep.
Not all parents are teachers.
They're not.
I think I'd be a good teacher.
That's kind of the worry. I think you'd be a horrible teacher.
Yeah, come on, man.
You would be a terrible teacher.
No, I'd be great.
He's got the hair of a teacher.
I would be a
I don't know
very
what
good
that
teacher.
means.
You would be a terrible teacher. I would be a great teacher.
No, you wouldn't.
Are you kidding me?
Oh.
My middle name is Patience.
Mr. No Patience.
Stan, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Even Stan's laughing at that. He knows how
Yeah.
stupid that is. Stan, welcome to the show, buddy.
Just something to think about. My boys were homeschooled, and they were in a Florida virtual school online course, and they had specific teachers to monitor their progress, and were able to tailor the courses for the level they were at. So if they were lacking in some areas, they made the course adjust to that. So it wasn't. My wife did most of the homeschooling, so it wasn't all on her. She just had to make sure they were, hitting the marks that the teachers had set for them.
Very cool.
And they were able to adjust it.
Hey, how old are they now, Stan?
20 and 24.
And what are they doing?
Both graduated. One's in a volunteer program in New York, and the other is still at home.
Oh, very good. But making his way?
Oh, yeah, making his way. And also the other thing that we did is got him into the county recreational programs that were around, which, of course, had a ton of other homeschooled kids in them. So, it kind of was like going to PE classes and art classes and all the fun stuff that they had in the rec centers in the county. So there was a lot of association along with other, friends and family and different things like that they come out pretty well-rounded.
Very nice.
Hey, Stan, as parents and your wife as the main educator in your household, did she have a group of other homeschool parents that you guys would, interact with?
Some did, yes. Sometimes, depending on the age groups and what they did. Most of the time it was, through the programs, the field trips and different things that they would arrange. They went to Legoland, they went to zoos, they did all kinds of extracurricular activities with all these other parents.
Let me ask you, I don't know if you said this earlier, I couldn't remember. Did you say why that you decided to homeschool your boys?
No. There was a bunch of different factors. Our youngest, when he was in the second grade, was having difficulties with the environment. And when we offered, we basically let him decide, said, hey, we're going to do things this way, along with, there was kind of a little disagreement with the school board. And so we just offered it to him, and he thanked us for it afterwards.
Very good.
Because it took all the pressure off of him.
Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for calling. We appreciate that. Calling from the belly of an alien spaceship. It sounds like he was being digested as he was making his call, which is very nice of him to make that his last thing on earth to do.
Thanks for thinking of us.
Yeah, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Get some calls coming in on the homeschooling thing. I really don't even know how this kind of came up. How did this kind of come about, guys?
It was because homeschooling, the requests for vouchers doubled.
Oh, that's right.
Over the previous
it's my
year.
Fault.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
That's why we do news, actually, to generate topics.
Right, exactly.
Actually, you're welcome.
Yes, so there you go. And they're calling in. We have a bunch of callers who want to talk after the break.
Okay, let's do that. 407-916-1041. You guys hang loose. If you want to call and give your opinion on school vouchers or homeschooling, we'd love to hear from you, especially parents who have actually done this, and to tell me why you decided to pull your kids out of school and if you think it was a good idea. 407-916-1041. Back in a sec.
All aboard for Real Yacht Rock Weekends. Every weekend this summer on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
What's going on in Central Florida? I'm Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Noah Bergman here. We are looking at hot weather Wednesday, upper 90s, mostly sunny and dry. Thursday, mid-90s, sunny and dry as well. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, temperatures come down. Rain chances go up a little bit, much needed. About 30 to 40%ers in there Friday through Sunday. A little bit of an east wind as well. Heads up if you're going to be at the beaches. East winds 10 to 20 miles an hour for the entire weekend.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale is here. Get a Sleepy's Queen mattress at the lowest price ever, just $89.99. This deal ends Tuesday, so don't wait. Visit Mattress Firm and save over 60%. In-store pickup only while supplies last. Find your nearest one today.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day, but when we're driving, cooking, working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Call 844-ADD-HELP-5. That's 844-ADD-HELP-5.
At ViStar Credit Union, you inspire us to deliver on our promise to do good for our members and our communities. That's why we offer better banking options like better rates and no hidden fees. And we continually give back to the places we call home. That focus is one reason why ViStar was named a Best in State Credit Union by Forbes magazine. So join the nearly 1 million members who choose to bank with a leader. ViStar Credit Union. Do good. Bank better. Insured by NCUA.
I had a radio listener call me after an accident. The insurance company offered him $700. He hired me that day and we were covered $100,000. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Potential clients may not obtain same or similar results. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
Now, it's your time to make more money and be your own boss. Come to the Franchise Show on June 8th and 9th at the Orange County Convention Center to meet with the best money-making franchises. Learn how you can open a successful business. This life-changing event is your only chance to see all the hottest money-making opportunities in one place. Find the perfect business for you at the Franchise Show, presented by the Entrepreneur's Source. course. June 8th and 9th, the Orange County Convention Center. Get tickets at FloridaFranchiseShow.com.
Hi, this is Earl Ron. I'm the president of New South Window Solutions. What I like people to understand about our company is what's unique about us. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. We go out of our way to make it easy.
Going on now. Save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
The free iHeart app has over 100 commercial-free stations like Real Fun Beach Radio. Real Fun Beach Radio gives you that toes in the sand beach music vibe 24/7. Just open the app, search Real Fun Beach Radio, and start listening. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S., over 15 million this year alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss even when you monitor your credit. If your identity's stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% their first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at lifelock.com.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? ROLAIDS.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
ROLAIDS.
Fourth cup of coffee?
Still ROLAIDS.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The Jim Colbert Show, streaming live on YouTube. Watch us talk.
Shed some light on that, folks.
Colbert Show, Long Hair Guy Rich here, talking about the homeschooling. Absolutely worst, dumbest, stupidest, pathetic thing we have ever let our children do is sit behind a computer and do 30 minutes worth of schoolwork a day to graduate. It's stupid. It's so dumb. It's so easy and so manipulative for them to pass. It's ridiculous. Dumbest idea ever.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
All right, 407-916-1041. Texas. Buddy, I feel you. I do that about 100 times a day. Forget what I'm saying. Here's the thing. I understand what this guy is saying, but, you can't automatically apply that reality to every single homeschooled student. That would be irresponsible to do that. You don't know that that's the same thing in every family. I do believe in some cases that that's what you get, because just parents want to control every aspect of their kid's life, like Jack was saying. They don't want them to be bullied. They want them to be safe and everything. But then in that same sense, they really are sheltering them, kind of helicoptering them on the highest level. And then I don't know if they're going to be prepared well enough to go out into the real world and experience people who aren't like them, who don't believe the things they do, who don't look at life the way they do, who don't believe in God, who don't think there's a deity, who are not motivated by an ethos of a religion. I mean, when you encounter people like that and you don't know, I had culture shock when I moved here. I mean, I'd never experienced like people being openly gay and openly, biracial dating and stuff. That was a big deal to me when I moved here. I didn't know any of that happened. People just walked around. Black and white couples walked around. That was fascinating to me when I moved here from a small town where everyone was a lot like me. You
Right,
know,
right.
That's the same thing I kind of worry about. Is are people going to be prepared when they go out into the world and they understand that, man, not everyone's like this, you know? All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here along with Jack. Let's get to these calls. Let's go with Josh. Josh, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Not
Love the
much.
show.
Thanks, buddy.
Wanted to call in. I was chiming in, put my 2 cents in on the homeschooling. I've got 2 boys that are homeschooled and have been homeschooled for probably 6 years now, both of them.
How old?
Just turned 13, just turned 15.
Got it.
We started them out in Montessori school back in the day, did that for a while. COVID hit, and then they were homeschooling about a year prior to that. And then my wife just stuck with it, and they've hung in it since then. And they also go to almost like a hybrid model. They go to school twice a week at what's called a pop-up school. So it's a little bit different than traditional homeschooling, but it's been great so far. And she converted me on it for sure.
Do you believe that the kids are getting the education that they would be getting in public schools? You think they're kind of equal to what a public school is?
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
So, full context, my wife was public school. I went to a small private school when I was little, but we turned out both okay. My kids, they have to do their core curriculum, but we also push them to really dive into what they're interested in. So, you know, for example, my oldest son, he's recently got into shooting guns, and he's in the Police Explorers program. My youngest son, he plays a lot of tennis and plays on the basketball team. So they're allowed to participate in sports at school, which we like, and I like, obviously, because it gives them a big social aspect and component. But again, it's not the traditional just bop them behind a computer screen and, you know, let them do what they want to do. It's the complete opposite of that. It's really, my wife calls herself just like a facilitator more than a teacher. I mean, she's got 2 master's degrees herself, but, you know, she really just kind of is there to facilitate and help them when they have questions, but it's really self-motivated, self-taught at the end of the day.
Sure thing.
They do. That makes sense.
Hey, Josh, was it your choice or did you give them the option, or did you just basically tell them you're coming out?
Great question. Well, we said, look, here's what your options are. You can do this, stay in this program, and you go to this school. We visited, in full disclosure, we visited traditional schools, so to speak, the last 6 months, saying, look, maybe it's time to flip them into something more traditional. And that was where I was leaning towards more, because they do get a ton of social, but, you know, going to school twice a week is, to your point, is not the real world in my mind. But again, they do get a lot of social stuff, but that was me pushing them to, hey, let's get more day-to-day stuff. So
You got it.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, buddy. And I appreciate your call. Thanks a lot. We appreciate that. 407-916-1041. Let's get to Bill. Bill, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the program.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, boss.
Yeah, I was just at a little different perspective on the homeschooling thing, just because I'm a divorced father. I've been divorced for about 4 years now, and my kids are 16 and 15 at the moment. And it started out, you know, I did not choose to do it. My wife at the time said she was thinking about it, and the next thing I found out was the books coming to the front door. And that's pretty much how we started homeschooling. But it worked out okay, because I worked a lot, and I got to see my kids more at the house. But however, I really wasn't involved with it. And when I did get involved with it, it was always a negative aspect, like she wasn't doing the job well enough. And I felt that they should have spent more time in the schooling aspect rather than the field trips and all the fun, all the stuff. There really wasn't enough schooling, I thought. They skipped over a lot of stuff. So,
well, and that really that really kind of thanks for your call, buddy. I appreciate that very much. That's really kind of what Deb said regarding, you know, when kids do get reacclimated into public schools, the schools find that in a large percentage of them, they're a grade to a grade and a half behind,
right?
Or they're testing behind simply because they're not really keeping up with the school curriculum. And again, if you have a really lax kind of home environment where you can do it at your leisure, and a lot of parents kind of want that. They just want their kids around, like that gentleman said. I just want to see my kids more. And look, man, I can appreciate that. A divorced dad, been there, done that, wanted a kid, and made a lot of sacrifices to see my kids as much as I possibly could. But at that point, I think you have to start kind of realizing, what's best for them. What's the best decision to get them the best education, to get them prepared for life the best. And if you don't think your ex is pulling it off, maybe it's time for another option. I don't know. But he seems to have it down.
Yeah. I mean, because When you go to work, you're not going to get to do it at your leisure.
No, you don't get to do it at your leisure.
Exactly.
All right, 407-916-1041. Still have some calls on the line. We got to go to break here. You guys hang loose. We'll take those at the top of the hour.
Real radio. Real radio. Radio.
104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Shop the best quality jewelry and lowest price. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Stop and go traffic reported on I-4 this afternoon, east and westbound by the major attractions exits. Looking at especially heavy eastbound delays on I-4 due to accident activity blocking the shoulder near Osceola Polk Line Road. No major delays to report for those traveling on the Beach Line or the Greenway this afternoon. If you see any traffic problems, just make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
At Rasmussen University, we offer 50-plus programs from health sciences to business to nursing, online and on campus. Are you ready to rewrite your story? Learn more at rasmussen.edu.
It's time to get pre-approved so you don't miss the party this summer at your new pool home. That mortgage guy, Don, offers HELOCs, home equity lines of credit, and second mortgages to cash out equity without touching your first mortgage so you can finally get that pool project underway or that cool backyard that's perfect for entertaining. And it's so easy to apply now at thatmortgageguyDon.com. Let Don and his team send you a quote, and if you already have a quote on a refinance, purchase, or HELOC, let Don review your quote today. It's peace of mind right at your fingertips, so don't miss the boat. Compare your quote at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go: shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms: irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. In Office Orlando.
I love playing pranks on my sister, and this deal going on at McDonald's is my chance to take the lead. Enjoy any 2 items for $3.79. From the iconic McDouble, the McChicken, a 4-piece chicken McNuggets, small fries, to even a small soft drink. I'm gonna pair my McDouble with her small fries, but secretly pull her fries out of the bag. She won't even notice. Hey, where'd the fries go? Sounds like my prank just got fried. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
What's better than air conditioning? A portable air conditioner you can take anywhere. Enter McDonald's frozen drinks. I call them air cup-ditioners. Air cup-ditioners come in all my fave flavors, like frozen Coke, frozen Fanta Blue Raspberry, and frozen Sprite Limonade. And they're incredibly cost-effective. Any size is just $1.49 after breakfast hours. My air cup-ditioner is on full blast. There are drinks. And there are drinks from McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Coca-Cola, Fanta, Sprite, and Limonade are registered trademarks of the Coca-Cola Company.
Tired of hearing about rising costs and rising rates? International Diamond Center has the relief you need with a guaranteed best prices. And starting this Saturday, 0% interest financing. Yes, 0%. IDC rolls back interest rates so you can make any purchase and enjoy low monthly payments for 4 years without a dime in interest. And IDC showcases are packed. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants, and our largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer fashion jewelry. Pick any item, celebrate your love, get the value price you deserve, then spread your payments over 4 years. That $6,000 pair of diamond earrings is just $125 a month. That $12,000 engagement ring is just $250 a month. Everything's affordable with this amazing offer. 4 years, 0.0% financing. There's just one catch. This is a limited time offer just for the month of June. Don't wait. Let IDC help you get the jewelry you've been dreaming of at a price and payment you didn't think was possible. International Diamond Center. 4 Orlando locations. Details at shopidc.com. On approved credit.
Need a reboot? RC Hill here from RC Hill Mitsubishi. Spring has sprung, so let's have some fun. This month, I'll help you reboot your old ride and save up to $8,000 on a new Mitsubishi. So if your old ride's a hunk of junk, Don't let it leave you in a funk. You can even drive a new car today with a lifetime warranty, like the Mitsubishi Mirage 43 miles per gallon starting at $15,900. The popular Eclipse Cross, in stock and ready for delivery. Or the 2024 Outlander, 5-star safety rated, starting at $23,900. So if you've been dreaming of driving a new RC Hill Mitsubishi, don't get your wires crossed, because my team works hard every day, and that's what makes us different. So this week, reboot your old ride, and you could save up to $8,000 on a nicer, newer car. But hurry, a deal this good will shut down fast. I'm RC Hill, and I'm your car dealer next door. 2 locations, DeLand and Ocala. See all my trendy rides at rchill.com. That's rchill.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Vehicle purchase price determines actual discount.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hi, this is Earl Ron. New South makes windows that are both energy efficient and hurricane resistant. New South is the factory and eliminates the middleman. New South windows are made in Florida for Florida homes by Florida workers, because we know Florida weather.
Going on now, save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Call 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show, also available to watch. Yeah, at The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey.
You know, it is true that there are some people that teach their kids that the Earth's only 5,000 years old, but I know you can contradict that, having been around that long.
Yeah.
You might want to shed some light on that, folks.
Did I get?
Hey guys, happy day. Stereotypes exist for a reason, and the stereotype has always been the homeschooled kids are the weird kids. I'm not necessarily a proponent of bullying, but there needs to be a certain amount of toughness that happens in your life. And if you're treated like a piece of veal that's fed only one diet of opinions, you are going to be a fragile, out of balance weirdo when you get into the real world.
I have to tell you, he is a little harsh, his explanation, but I do agree with that. I do agree that you have to deal with adversity in your life, or you are going to be a noodle that's just going to get dragged around life. You're going to let life happen to you rather than go out there and take it. I mean, that's what happens when you just get babied all your life, and then you don't deal with adversity. It's 100% true.
Can you imagine? You don't want to work with that person.
You do not. You know, I know a few of those people in my life.
You
just simply do not want to be around them. And the thing is, what sucks is they're mostly good people. The problem is they don't really have any control of how they are. You know, they were, that's how they were treated, like a puppy their entire life. It's tough, man. They don't really deal with problems real well. Not real good solvers. All right, 407-916-1041. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb and Jack are here as well. Let's take a few more of these calls on homeschooling, and we'll move on. We do have It's Only Money with our buddy Scott Brown coming up here in just a few minutes. Let's go to Judy. Judy, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing really good. I'm just going to try to make it as quick as possible.
Sure, yeah.
My family education is everything. It's important. I can't imagine how much stress it was on me. My mom, bless her heart, she spent hours teaching me. Before I even went to kindergarten, I knew how to read, write, add, subtract, and all that good stuff. They kicked me out of kindergarten. They put me in first grade right off. Now, both of my boys, same deal. They knew how to read, write, all that before they ever got to school, because I spent the time. And that's what the important thing is, even with these homeschool parents. These kids are behind because the parent wasn't diligent.
Right, yeah.
Didn't stay on the kid's ass. Pardon my French.
That's okay.
Didn't make them do the work.
Yeah.
Now, my grandson, because of COVID, was homeschooled for the duration of it. Now, he did not fall behind. In fact, he got ahead. And they didn't put him back in public school. They put him in a private school where he's really excelling. But that I stress on. That's why they both got college scholarships.
Yeah, well,
because I stressed it.
Well, thanks, Judy. I appreciate that. I would agree with that. I also liken it to this. I wonder if homeschool kids respect their parents the same way they would respect a teacher that taught them something that wasn't, you kind of, do you understand? Let me explain.
No, the answer is no.
Well, if your dad was tough on you, right, and you had a dad, your dad was a good dad, it was tough on you, right, and you learned a lot from your dad, but then you went into the military and you got a drill sergeant. Well, that drill sergeant's also going to be tough on you, but he ain't your dad. You can't ask him to lighten up. You can't say, well, Dad, you can't do that because there's a different set of rules with that guy. That's kind of what I wonder with the parents being teachers as opposed to teachers being teachers, where it's their job. And I wonder if a parent is able to be an effective teacher as an homeschool teacher if they have to also deal with the bills being ready, their relationship with their husband, their relationship with work, their relationship with other people around. As you're dealing with raising your kid and also dealing with the exceptions of life. And I know that teachers have to do this, but they're paid to do it. This is their job. And as a parent, your job is to raise your child, not necessarily 100% to educate your child with a formal education. Parental education is completely different than formal education. And I just wonder if they're getting that. And I know a percentage of them are for sure. What my question is what size of percentage? And that's why I said in 10 to 15 years, I'm very interested to see what that looks like. And by the way, I'm not picking on homeschooling because I'm telling you, there's a generation of kids that came up through COVID that are also going to be looked at side-eyed by employers as they kind of come in. Hey, when did you graduate? Oh, really? How did you make it through COVID? How did you get educated through COVID? Now that we know for a fact science and math scores have suffered in the public education system because of COVID, and they missed out 18 months of school almost.
Yeah.
All right, 407-916-1041. Let's go to Lonnie. Hey, Lonnie, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's happening, Jim? How you guys doing today?
What's up, boss?
Hey, brother, man. First off, long-time listener, man, and I loved you on the other show like forever and ever.
Thank you, buddy.
You've been my favorite guy.
Thank you, buddy.
First off, I just want to talk about the vouchers. I just want to make sure that everyone understands that for every voucher that a person takes and leaves the public school system, that's money leaving this public school system.
Yep. And that was our earlier issue.
Yeah.
That's what we call defunding public education.
I was public educated here in Florida the whole time. And I just want to make sure that everyone understands that part of it. And then the money goes to the other systems, and 90% of them are always Christian-based.
Yeah, a lot of them are faith-based. There's no question. And that's why thanks for your call, Lonnie. That's why a lot of parents take their kids out of public schools and put them into these charter schools because they are faith-based and they want their kids to be around people who are like-minded when it comes to their religion and faith. And again, that's understood. I could see where that would be very attractive. My problem, again, is how are those people going to acclimate to the real world when they get out there? And not everybody rolls that way. I mean, unless you work for a company that only employs Christians, that only enroll like that, or Muslims or whomever, whatever the religion may be, I mean, you're going to have a difficult time dealing with people who look at life differently than you, I believe. I mean, I'm sure you'll be able to get over it. Maybe you'll learn how to work with it, but that learning curve would have already been handled in public schools, at least part of it, and that's kind of a point. All right, 407-916-1041. A couple more of these. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, brother. You?
Pretty good, thanks. So I had a couple comments. One, I have 3 female cousins who were homeschooled growing up, and they're all adults now. And so they were all homeschooled all the way through middle school. And then when they got to high school, their parents decided to put them in public school because it was a good public school, had a good reputation. And all 3 of them were valedictorians of their year. All 3 of them got full-ride scholarships to college. All 3 of them were a little bit socially awkward their first encounter with public school, but are all doing really, really well now with really, really great jobs and have boyfriends, husbands, all very normal lives. So the homeschooling thing didn't really seem to affect them in that antisocial aspect that people always associate with.
Yeah, I got you, buddy. You said that they did go into public schools when they were in high school, though?
Yeah, they started in high school, but it was only because the school had a really, really good reputation.
Got it.
Their parents were... It wasn't like a religious thing. It was just a quality of education thing.
Got it, buddy. I appreciate your call. 407-916-1041. I would say that kind of falls into what I'm talking about, though. They went through middle school and elementary school, and then when they got into high school, the first couple of years were awkward, and then they learned to excel. My point would be, had they been in public school the entire time, they probably would have still excelled because their parents really are the fuel behind that. about making you study, making sure you take care of your grades, keeping up with the teachers. A lot of parents don't do that anymore. They just kind of lean on the teacher in the school to do that for them. But you have to be militant about that to really make sure that your kids are doing the things they're supposed to be doing. And then, of course, you have good parents. You're going to turn out good kids, regardless of the school. So that really was kind of my point. By the way, this same thing goes for private schools. Did you guys have a private school when you were growing up that all the rich kids went to?
I went to private school.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, fancy pants. I like that.
Private all-girl Catholic school.
Jack, did you have we had one in Palatka.
Yeah, Bergen Catholic was, the local parochial school that, but known for, had a reputation for a good education.
Oh, it's the best.
See, but my point is this. We had one in my hometown called Briarwood. And all the rich kids went to Briarwood, right? All the judges' kids and all the dignitaries' kids, they went to, I say dignitaries, all the important people, right? But when those kids got to be high school age, they begged to go into public school. They begged to, because all the social action, all the interaction was happening in the public schools. They didn't want to be the nerds that were going to the private school being treated with kid gloves, because our school treated those people differently. We looked at them differently.
Not ours.
Oh, yeah, really?
It still had the paddle on the wall.
Oh, yeah, that's good. All right, 407-916-1041. Gary, how you doing, buddy? Last call on the subject.
Great. We homeschooled our kids through all the way through high school until they started in college. And my son was in second grade, and the teacher came to us and said, "Get him out of here. I spend more time babysitting than I do teaching." And my kids turned out fine. One's a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force.
Cool.
And my daughter got 1B in college, and she does linguistics, sign language, teaches sign language to the kids in a public school.
Cool.
So I think it comes back to the parental, no matter whether you're homeschooled or in public school or private school, the parents are the ones that make the difference if they are truly parents.
I would agree with you there, buddy. I think that does make a big part of the difference. A great way to end that topic, because I do believe that is the machine. That's the driving engine of any kid's success for the most part, is how the parents treat their education.
It was a weird flex that his daughter got 1B in college. I got 1B too, and that really lifted my GPA.
Finally got it up there in the 2-point highs.
Whew.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for that.
By the way, can you get a homeschool college degree that holds up with a 4-year institution? Like, can you get a homeschool degree in business like you can from UCF? Is it looked at the same? If you can you?
Well, you can take online courses.
Classes. But that's still provided by the college, though, right?
Yeah, and so is actually Florida Virtual School.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can...
Like an AA or something?
Yeah, you can... Well, Florida Virtual School is, I believe, a grammar through 12.
Got it.
Okay, so you can actually do the Florida school curriculum from home on the computer.
Got it. So let me ask you, though, real quick. I mean, if you can get a high school education, a diploma from an accredited school that's a charter school, and it's the same as getting a diploma from a high school, a public school here in Central Florida, right? Dr. Phillips or Edgewater or wherever. I mean, can you do the same thing with a 4-year degree? Could you get a 4-year degree from a homeschooling that would hold up in the workplace or the business world the same as a degree from UCF or Florida or Florida State?
Well, I think it would have to be like through Phoenix,
right?
That the online school.
So an accredited school, but not a homeschool scenario.
Right.
Because they're still
You're doing it at home, but it's through their school.
All right, 407-916-1041. Back in a sec with our buddy Scott Brown. It's only money. Edgewater Family Wealth. He's up next.
Real radio is the news junkie.
Did I tell you the story about the girl I knew with a blind dad? When we met this girl, she was like, my name's blank, and my father is blind. He can't see anything.
Because you couldn't write down the name on the birth certificate.
And I don't.
The news junkie. Weekdays at 11 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Major backups reported on I-4 westbound this afternoon between the St. Johns River Bridge and 1792 due to a crash that is currently blocking the left lane on the interstate, causing nearly stopped traffic back from Saxon Boulevard. Looking at heavy delays for those traveling by the major attractions exits and through downtown as well. If you see traffic problems today, just make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by J. David Tax Law.
If you owe the IRS and can't pay, now is the time to call J. David Tax Law. The IRS has resumed their aggressive collections. Don't wait. Call J. David Tax Law, a firm right here in Orlando, or visit jdavidtaxlaw.com.
Man, I couldn't even imagine Sunday or Monday or Saturday this week having no AC or having my AC go down. I mean, God almighty, it was so hot. It's going to be like that all summer long. Just take a glance at the weather map. It is Florida, which means you have to have a good AC company ready to get your AC ready for summer all year long. That's Mills Air for me. For Jack, they just saved him. Deb's mom, Ross's family, and so many other Central Florida families have leaned on Mills Air to make sure their AC runs great. They've been doing it for 30 plus years. Let their techs service anything you have. It doesn't even matter what kind of brand you have. Here's the good part though. If you do need a swap out, right? You need a new system. Not only are you going to get a great carrier system, you're going to get a system that's very efficient, saving you money instantly. These guys are carrier factor authorized dealers. They can get you up to $1,275 in rebates towards that brand new carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier and certainly turn to family owned and operated Mills Air. Call these guys today and schedule your appointment for your preventive maintenance plan. 407-277-1159. Online, it's easy. It's millsair.com.
Cento Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Cento Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at centomoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
I love playing pranks on my sister, and this deal going on at McDonald's is my chance to take the lead. Enjoy any 2 items for $3.79. From the iconic McDouble, the McChicken, a 4-piece chicken McNuggets, small fries, to even a small soft drink. I'm gonna pair my McDouble with her small fries, but secretly pull her fries out of the bag. She won't even notice. Hey, where'd the fries go? Sounds like my prank just got fried. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
What's better than air conditioning? A portable air conditioner you can take anywhere. Enter McDonald's frozen drinks. I call them air cup-ditioners. Air cup-ditioners come in all my fave flavors, like frozen Coke, frozen Fanta Blue Raspberry, and frozen Sprite Lemonade. And they're incredibly cost-effective. Any size is just $1.49 after breakfast hours. My air cup-ditioner is on full blast. There are drinks. And there are drinks from McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Coca-Cola, Fanta, Sprite, and Lemonade are registered trademarks of the Coca-Cola Company.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Tired of hearing about rising costs and rising rates? International Diamond Center has the relief you need with a guaranteed best prices. And starting this Saturday, 0% interest financing. Yes, 0%. IDC rolls back interest rates so you can make any purchase and enjoy low monthly payments for 4 years without a dime in interest. And IDC showcases are packed. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants, and our largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer fashion jewelry. Pick any item, celebrate your love, get the value price you deserve, then spread your payments over 4 years. That $6,000 pair of diamond earrings is just $125 a month. A $12,000 engagement ring is just $250 a month. Everything's affordable with this amazing offer. 4 years, 0.0% financing. There's just one catch. This is a limited time offer just for the month of June. Don't wait. Let IDC help you get the jewelry you've been dreaming of at a price and payment you didn't think was possible. International Diamond Center. 4 Orlando locations. Details at shopidc.com. On approved credit.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Haley, quote, Navage is the best thing I bought. I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for weeks. I bought Navage and it's amazing. Or this one. I use Navage every night, could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats, and before I found Navage, I was a clogged mess. Now I breathe so much better, unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing, made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories, all without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver, all the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew, 30 seconds, that's it. Done. Peace.
We are professional grade at Orange Buick GMC. Online at orangebuickgmc.com.
We now return to the Jim Colbert Show.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Easy to find us online, jimcolbertlive.com. That's where you can click through and watch us do the show every single day. And man, let me tell you, I've done it. It is exciting. It is thrilling, especially when we have a gentleman like this on the show. All right, welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
And so is Jack. Hi. All right, let's do It's Only Money.
Helping people passionate about planning for their future rise above investment myths to build real wealth. Isn't that really just common sense financial advice?
It's both.
Oh, okay. It's Only Money with Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth.
Good and loud for Scott Brown, guys. Hey, there he is. What's up, big man? How you doing?
Doing fantastic. I was just telling Jack that I'm in Greenville, South Carolina, which is, I think, maybe the coolest city in the United States right now.
One of the fastest growing spots in the nation, my man.
Yeah. It's the vibe here is unbelievably cool. Everybody's nice. There's like this progressive, and I don't mean in a political kind of way. I mean like in culture and art and in food and just the vibe. Everybody's nice. Everybody gets along. Southern hospitality with really good eats.
City is supposed to be absolutely gorgeous, and had a friend that moved there a few years ago, and to kind of get away is like the final thing, kind of place he was going to retire, and absolutely loves it. It's
yeah. I think everybody followed him, by the way.
Yeah. So Scott, the funny thing is a few years back after the pandemic, we started doing we did a story about a thing called Zoom towns, and the whole phenomenon was this. When people started working from home and employers started kind of okaying that, and saying it was fine, yep. People started saying to themselves, well, if I can work from home, why the hell am I living 10 minutes from an office I don't have to go into? I'm going to go live where I want. And they started kind of searching the nation for these little wonderful towns to go and live in. And all they really needed was really high quality internet. And they could live and do and where they wanted. In Greenville, South Carolina was one of those places.
Yeah, I think Bozeman, Montana was one, yep. and outside the U.S., I think Portugal was like the #1 destination for that kind of activity.
Absolutely, for sure. Well, when I got your text this morning, of course, Scott owns Edgewater Family Wealth, has been doing it here in town for 37 plus years. And by that, I mean giving sound quality financial advice to people who want to better their lives as they near retirement, get themselves tuned in. And Scott, before we get started with what you want to talk about today, you did put a really interesting little paragraph at the top of your text today, and I was really I was interested to see how this would go. I was really excited to talk to you today to find out how the Saturday seminar went. And the reason why is this. Most of your seminars are during the week, 11 o'clock in the morning or so, 11:30. It's a lunch thing where you stop in, you grab lunch, you learn some things, and then maybe make some decisions about your life after the fact. I told you that one of the complaints we got was that we needed one of those seminars on the weekend because the people who are out there, grinding out every day, your blue collar guys out there grinding it out, would love an opportunity to learn some things to make their financial life a little better. And I was wondering how that went because if I remember right, it sold out pretty quick.
2 days, yeah, Jim. If nothing else, I'm a man of the people, right? They ask for it, we bring it to them. That's what we're doing here. It was incredible. And to be honest with you, after all these years, you'd have thought I'd have figured this thing out that working people can't come to or at least sometimes can't come to a weekday event. But no, it took you guys to kind of point that out to me, and I thought, well, let's fix that problem. So we did an event. It was out in Lake Mary. We're kind of trying to make sure people from D-Land or Deltona or Mount Dora or Lake Mary or Daytona, and we had folks from all the places I just mentioned come out, and it was a really engaged group. They seemed to, and it was a mix. It was what we call a mixture of acquirers and refiners. Acquirers being people trying to learn the beginnings of wealth accumulation and how to do that, and then the refiners are folks that they're kind of in that red zone. They see the finish line not too far off, and they'd like to start making changes to prepare themselves for that phase of life. And it was a great event, great questions. We had Todd out, who's our estate planning attorney. He got a ton of questions. Of course, Greg Rossler was there. He always blows people's minds with his knowledge on Medicare and Social Security. So it was like a 2-hour ordeal because people had so many questions. So the short answer is it was fantastic and the people were great. And I think a lot of people got a lot out of it. I certainly did. I certainly learned a lot about what we need to be talking about.
Yeah, that's really good. And what was the makeup of the crowd, Scott? What kind of employment were we talking about when people came in? Were they all blue collar guys? Were they just people who that was their only opportunity to come out? Was it mostly men, mostly women, or?
There was a lot of couples, and it was diverse. I think we had 3 or 4 couples who I would say probably in their late 30s to early 40s, really trying to get a handle on this thing. And yes, there was most definitely some blue collar folks, the people that do the hard work in this country. There's a bunch of those folks, but there was also a couple of entrepreneurs I came to find out later, and they approached me later at the event. And I realized these were folks that had started their own businesses. And, if you're an entrepreneur, which you once were, Jim, and still to some degree are, you don't get a day off. So, if you're an entrepreneur running your own business, you're lucky if you can get out even on a Sunday.
Right.
So we obviously brought some of those people out as well.
Love to hear that, buddy. I love to hear that. Well, we'll look forward to, as the summer comes to a close and we fire these things back up in September, we look forward to doing more of those weekend events so that we can get some more people in there and learn the things that you've accumulated almost 40 years now in this business. But let's move on to what you want to talk about today, Big Dog. You always bring some very interesting stuff, and this one today is no exception. It says why your balance sheet matters more than your return number. So is that the overall as opposed to the short term?
I think people get I think what happens is people don't consider all aspects of their life important. They open a stock account or a brokerage account, and then that's where 90% of their focus goes. So if you get to the end of a year like 2008 or 2000 and 2022 more recently, if you get to the end of a negative year with your brokerage statement, you think the world's about to end. But the reality is you have to look at the bigger picture. We're going to have bad market years. We know statistically 1 out of every 3 or 4 years is going to be a real punch in the face. You have to accept that that's reality. And if your whole life is dependent on the return that shows up on your statement at the end of every given year, you're going to get yourself in trouble. You're going to make stressful, bad decisions. And a way to avoid that is to say, all right, well, let's look at 22. Let's say, in 22, you had a crummy year, you were down 10, 12%, which the market was down 18. So if you were down 10 or 12, you should have felt good about yourself, but you don't, because your only source of focus is your brokerage statement. But what if you looked at your mortgage account? What if you got to the end of the year and you looked at your mortgage and realized, well, wait a minute, my account's down, let's call it 10 grand or 12 grand. But you know what? I managed to whittle down my mortgage by 10 or 12 grand, and my house appreciated by 5 or 6%. So if you look at those two things together on my balance sheet, I'm net ahead for the year. The other part of that is looking at your debt. Maybe you paid off a credit card. Maybe you bought a rental property. Maybe your stock options at work appreciated. Maybe your 401k appreciated. All of these things are part of your balance sheet. So if you're just focused on one part, and I get this a lot in the office, is somebody will come in and say, oh, that was a tough year. I'm really miserable about it or whatever. And I say, yes, but Mr. and Mrs. Smith, if we look at your balance sheet, which PS, I make all of my clients build a balance sheet so we don't have these kinds of conversations. When you look at your balance sheet, you're actually 20 grand ahead, not the 5 grand you think you're down just because your brokerage statement's down. So I think it's more of a big picture concept. But most people, Jim, to be honest with you, when they come in and they meet with us for the first time, they want to show us their brokerage statement. They want to talk about their returns, and that's fine. That is a big part of what we do. But the reality is it's a small or medium-sized part of what you should be worried about.
Right. All right, 407-916-1041. Talking to Scott Brown here from Edgewater Family Wealth, edgewaterfamilywealth.com. If you want to check out some of the information they have online, and there's tons of it, by the way, plus the 2 books that he wrote. Let's move on to number 2 here. The 6 bias that are hard for investors to overcome. So these are 6 biases. I don't really understand what you mean by that as a bias that's hard to overcome for an investor.
Oh, there's so many. So I'll start with the first one, which is recency bias. Recency bias is whatever happened yesterday is going to happen tomorrow. So a lot of investors get themselves in trouble because they think, oh, the market was down yesterday or last week or last month or last year. Clearly, that's a trend that I've identified, right? We've talked many times about people pattern seeking. Human beings are pattern seekers. And they believe that if NVIDIA was up 5 days in a row, that NVIDIA is a can't miss stock. I see Jack smiling right now. So, people want to talk about. Okay. So NVIDIA is the popular stock right now. NVIDIA is what anybody you talk to, any investor you talk to, CNBC comes on, they're going to talk about NVIDIA because it's the hot stock. And what people believe is what it has done is what it will do. And I'm not judging one way or the other on NVIDIA itself, but we could have had this same type of conversation. This same fervor occurred over Enron, MCI.
Right.
I mean, the list goes on and on of stocks that we felt this way about that turned out just to be stocks. They turned out to be companies, not things that just because they did well yesterday, they were going to do well forever. It also, recency bias causes people to sell when they shouldn't sell. Well, look, I got my statement last month on my 401k and it was down 7%. Clearly, it's going to be down 7% next month. Example of that would be December of 18. We saw the market drop 15, 16%. Your 401k statement looked like Swiss cheese. Many of you lacked discipline and you got out. You wouldn't be up the 35 or 40% we're up since that time had you had recency bias for that 1 month. So recency bias is a big one.
And let me tell you, man, that you are 1,000% right, because I mean, it was hard to sit through watching my life savings get completely decimated by the market twice in the last 15, 18 years, and just kind of know and trust the system. That was very difficult to do. Very difficult to do.
You got to trust the system.
But you
got no choice.
You have to trust that it's going to self-correct. You have to. It is really hard as you sit there and every day. Matter of fact, Jim Phillips, who used to work here, came on the air during 2008 when that downturn hit, and he goes, do not check your 401k. He's like, do not look behind that door where you hear all those crazy sounds coming out of. You don't want to know what's behind there. And I did check mine, and I gasped greatly. But you're right. It has come back twofold for sure. It's done quite well, but it's kind of weird how that works. Let's move on to the next bias.
Yeah. So endowment bias. Endowment bias, you believe that because you're in proximity to something, it must be good. And I'll give you an example. Or let me ask you this question. What do you think the number 1 and 2 stocks owned by the residents of Seattle are?
I would say, is Starbucks publicly traded?
Yep.
I'd say Starbucks and
Boeing.
Boeing. Yeah, there you go. I would say Starbucks and Boeing.
Yeah, and you'd be correct. What about Atlanta?
FedEx and Coca-Cola.
And what about Orlando?
Disney and hold on. I would say Disney and maybe
big military.
One of the I was going to say
military.
one of the contractors here. I can't.
Harris.
Harris.
Lockheed.
There you go.
Lockheed. Yeah. So the question that begs asking is, why is that? Why is it that we own in Orlando Lockheed and Disney more than any other stock? It's because we hear about them all the time. We know people who work there. And because we know people who work there, we believe that we have some insider information as to how well Disney or Lockheed's going to do. And again, this is not a judgment on whether Atlanta people are making a bad decision by owning Coke. It just shows you how nonsensical some of our biases are.
Right.
I live in Atlanta. I drive past the Coke. I literally drove by the Coke place on my way to Greenville. And it makes sense. It's just permeating your brain. So that is endowment bias. We believe, and it happens to people who work places. So all the people at Enron who worked there owned mostly Enron in their 401k. Thus, when Enron finally was revealed to have been mostly a fraud, they all went down with the ship. Had they diversified a little bit and not had endowment bias, and we see that here, we see that when we meet with employees from the major corporations in Central Florida, because they work there, therefore this must be a good stock, right? So this is just something you want to be aware of. The third bias is sunken cost. And sunken cost basically means that you're throwing good money after bad. You bought an investment in real estate and you thought it was worth 500 grand. You paid 3 for it. You put 2 into it, and lo and behold, a few years later, it's worth 300 grand.
Don't
so
say
you're down
that.
200 grand.
Don't
You've
say
sunk
that.
all your money into this thing, and you're just going to keep putting money into it till it gets better.
Don't you say that. I just bought one, damn it. Don't you dare do that.
Yeah, but you're living in that one. Yeah, you're living in that one now.
Don't you dare say it.
So you're okay. You're okay.
Good. All right.
Number 4 is anchoring. We anchor to things. And the biggest example of that is something I call the high water mark. Client comes in, give you 100 grand. 10 years later, they got 250. By the end of the year, they're at 230. What do you think they're thinking? Are they thinking they went from 100 to 230? Or are they thinking they went from 250 to 230? What's their big concern?
I guess the first one there.
No, the 20 that they lost.
Oh, yeah.
That they lost.
Yeah.
They're so upset that they went from because to them, they've anchored on the 250. They don't recognize that they've more than doubled their money. All they know is they had 250 yesterday and they got 230 a month later, right? That is anchoring, and it's unhealthy because when you anchor like that, you make bad decisions. Well, obviously, and again, that creates recency bias, which says I went from 250 to 230 recently, therefore this is a bad investment, not I went from 100 to 230 and therefore it's a good investment. The fifth one is loss aversion. That's a simple one. So if you look at Berkshire Hathaway run by the infamous Warren Buffett, in 2015, he was down 12%. In 2008, he was down 32%. Do you think Warren Buffett has loss aversion? In fact, I would argue that he enjoys losses.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is he can buy stuff cheap.
Yep.
Warren Buffett sits on cash and waits for the market to fall apart and for you to sell your stuff so he can buy it from.
Yep.
And the last one is confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is you trying to convince yourself that a decision you've made or continue to make, no matter how bad that decision seems to keep turning out, is the correct one. So you go to your buddy at the bar to seek confirmation. My wife doesn't understand me. She just doesn't get me. But you get me, Jim, because you and I are getting drunk every night at the bar. My wife does not. Let's confirm together that coming to the bar every night makes a lot of sense. Do you agree, Jim?
No, I do not. I kind of agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit. There's a little agreement
Little
there,
agree
Scott.
Yeah. My wife listens. I have to say stuff like that sometimes.
You do. But that's confirmation bias. Is you bought something and now you're seeking somebody, despite all the evidence against the decision having been a good one and you should maybe make a change, you're not saving or whatever. You go to your buddy who also agrees that 401ks are a ripoff. Don't you agree that 401ks are a ripoff? Yes, I agree. And that's because neither one of you are putting any money.
Right. Well, you get that a lot in crypto. I know that when that first came around, you're getting a lot of that in crypto. People just believed in it so much, they just kept pouring money into it because they'd convinced themselves that it was coming around. Yeah.
I mean, crypto's a great one. I mean, the crypto bros are not playing. You try to disagree with a couple of crypto people, you might get beat up.
Yeah.
Right? Because they don't want to hear it. And again, I'm not picking on crypto. Crypto may turn out to be something I don't understand, but at this point, I think it's just silliness. And people, if you say that to them, if do this to a crypto person, explain to me what it is, right? And then they'll look at you like you're the idiot because they can't explain it, right? So the reality is confirmation is a problem for a lot of investors because they'll do the Google search that confirms whatever silly thing they've already done rather than what they should do is find somebody with a dissenting opinion to lend some credibility. And you know what? If you listen to the dissenting opinion and you still think you're right, well, then maybe you are. But most people will not do that. They will seek the confirmation.
Right, and at least you gave it a shot. At least you kind of mixed in another possibility. But you pretty much you're going to go back to where you started.
Yeah, I mean, I think for most decisions in life, I know myself, I figure my judgment's pretty poor. I always ask my wife before I make major decisions, and she'll usually tell me, here's why that's not a good decision. Now, being the man that I am, I still might make the stupid decision,
Sure.
but at least I've sought counsel.
You got to let her know sometimes, buddy. You got to let her know that even if she calls you dumb, sometimes you got to go through with it. It just happens.
We can't help ourselves.
Scott Brown, Edgewater Family Wealth. That's edgewaterfamilywealth.com. Scott, when they visit the website, what would you suggest they go and look at?
Well, I think there's so many resources on there. Not only are all of our podcasts and shows on there, but you can find my book on how to work with a financial advisor. A lot of people are telling me they're really enjoying that book. The I Got a Guy series, which basically tells you what you should ask a financial advisor, what you should look for in a financial advisor. And so I think that's a really good place. Obviously, my book's out there. I Never Made Anybody Rich, which is really a book about my experiences with people and the myths that people believe about financial advisors, that they make people rich. I told the crowd on Saturday, my job's not to make you rich. If you're rich, it's because of something you did. What my job is to help you hang on to or maintain the wealth that you've acquired. So those are two great resources. And then if you want to have a consultation, I urge you, and we get them every week, go onto the website, sign up, somebody will contact you. And as I told the group on Saturday, somebody said, do you have a minimum? And I said, no, the only minimum I require is your interest. If you're interested in growing and learning, and it might be a 5-minute conversation. I have had clients or prospects call in, people who might be prospective clients call in and say, hey, I only have this one question. Is it okay if I ask it? Absolutely. We'll spend 5, 10, 15 minutes on the phone with you if there's one glaring problem you need help with. So we're in the doldrums of seminars right now because it's summertime and people want to have fun,
sure,
myself included.
Yep.
But come September, we'll ramp them back up. In the meantime, go to edgewaterfamilywealth.com. And you can get yourself a consultation.
You guys good and loud for Scott Maxwell, Scott Brown. There you go. The other side.
I like food, too.
EdgewaterFamilyWealth.com. Scott, have a good weekend. We'll see you soon, buddy. All right, there you go. All right, 407-916-1041. Load them up. Trivia is next, and man, do we have some sweet tickets for you to check out right after this.
We have a prize. Get on board at 407-916-1041. Jim Colbert Show Trivia is brought to you by Cento Family Moving and Storage. That's CENTO moving.com.
Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Fantasy.
Sean Payton showered rookie quarterback Bo Nix with some early praise after OTAs. After 61 college starts at Auburn and Oregon, there are no secrets with Bo. You know what you're going to get. Unlike Russell Wilson, it's all football all the time. Sean Payton knows quarterbacks, and he's looking for his next Drew Brees, so if he's praising Nix so soon, he must see something he likes. I'm Colin Cowherd.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
The Family 4-Pack is back. Florida residents save with its exclusive offer featuring discounted tickets for a party at Florida Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Just download and print the coupon. Come on out and have a great time. Discover something real this summer at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. This is the only place where you can meet an astronaut, touch a moon rock, stand nose to nose with a real spatial Atlantis, and plenty more. Launching a bold new territory this summer at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex at a down-to-earth price, of course. And by the way, we love the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex here at the Jim Colbert Show, calling all explorers. You can come face-to-face with real space and the cutting-edge innovations of space exploration from NASA. Explore more and grab your tickets today at KennedySpaceCenter.com.
Okay, this contract looks good to me. Let me just run it by my lawyer.
Everyone knows that having a good lawyer on hand can be a real game changer, which is why Legal Shield connects you to a vetted law firm in your state for a low monthly fee. Only Legal Shield has been providing this kind of legal peace of mind for over 50 years. Need an experienced set of eyes on that fine print? With Legal Shield, you can say,
let me run it by my lawyer.
Is the dealership giving you a hassle about warranty repairs?
I guess we'll have to talk to our lawyer.
And for that will you've been putting off, you can finally tell your family.
We're good. I had our lawyer take care of it.
Legal Shield isn't AI bots. It's a dedicated group of real lawyers who have your back, no matter what the future brings, all for around the price of those streaming services you don't watch anymore. Sign up at LegalShield.com/radio today. PPLSI does not provide legal representation or advice. See a plan for complete terms.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day. But when we're driving, cooking, and working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
The number one cause of accidents is distracted driving, like cell phones, eating, and playing with the radio. So leave it right here on Real Radio. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
Last season, millions tuned into the Betrayal podcast to hear a shocking story of deception. I'm Andrea Gunning, and now we're sharing an all-new story of betrayal. Justin Rutherford. Doctor, father, family man. It was the perfect cover to hide behind.
I was just like, what in the world is going on?
Listen to Betrayal on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Betrayal and start listening.
I'm Mark Anajar.
I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
Together, we're Anajar and Levine.
If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE.
In Office Orlando.
Each morning across Florida, hundreds of Duke Energy line workers start each day with one thing on our minds: making the grid stronger and more reliable for you. To us, it's about more than keeping the lights on. It's about being more efficient to help lower costs for our customers. It's more than a job, it's a commitment to building a smarter, more reliable energy future for Florida. Find out more at duke-energy.com/FLFuture. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go: shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms: irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheet. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheet. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric? Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes? You know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
Mental Health Fitness combines core wellness skills like physical activity, diet, and sleep with core mental health skills, understanding and expressing feelings, coping with stress, and mindfulness. Because mental health is as important as physical health, the Child Mind Institute helps families practice mental health fitness with Healthy Minds, Thriving Kids videos and resources for pre-K through grade 12, and Positive Parenting, Thriving Kids for caregivers. Visit childmind.org for tools to help kids develop into strong, confident adults.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
We now return to the Jim Colbert Show.
During the pandemic, someone matched on me on a dating website and invited me over to her house. When I went there, I seen that she had a room dedicated to, looked like a library, and I asked her what she did. She said she sold books to Homeschool, and while she was in the kitchen cooking us dinner, I looked and seen Jesus riding on a dinosaur, and I jetted.
What kind of dinosaur?
What kind of meatloaf? What was going on in the kitchen, man? You could have stuck around. I mean, a woman who has Jesus on a dinosaur may be a good cook. You never know. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
So is Jack.
Yep.
All right, let's... Oh, and Jack has the Jackie sack.
All aboard.
Chugga, chugga.
Choo, choo.
Clickety-clack, clickety-clack.
Here's the deal. We have prize all week long. It's a pair of tickets to see the one, the only Christopher Cross.
Sailing.
Ride Like the Wind. So many Yacht Rock favorites.
Arthur's song.
Arthur's theme. Absolutely. That's a big one right there. You heard him a lot over this past weekend. And for weekends, for the whole summer here on Real Radio, it's a Yacht Rock summer here on Real Radio. Christopher Cross, one of our featured artists. And you can see him live at the Plaza Theater in August. A pair of tickets could be yours if you win JCS Trivia. Jackie Sack is brought to you by
Cento Family Moving and Storage. Got a move coming up? Call them. They can handle it. Doesn't matter if your move is local, long distance, residential, or commercial. But it will matter if you mention the Jim Colbert Show, because that nasty's going to get you a discount. So book them today at centomoving.com. That's CENTO moving.com. Completely made me lose my place. Won't say what you were touching.
Jim. Just jiggling my boobs for her.
Back to you.
All right, thanks. Jack, who goes first today, buddy?
That would be James.
James right there up top. James, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Glad to hear that, buddy. Would you like to play a little game with us?
Yes, I would love to.
All right, buddy. Let's do it then.
Game show.
All right, James, this is a very easy game. Got a question here for you. 4 answers. One of these answers is untrue. It's a lie. I am trying to fool you, but if you do find it, I will send you off to the Plaza in August to see Christopher Cross. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go, buddy. On this day, Florida politician, one-time presidential candidate, current United States Senator from South Florida,
Rick Scott.
Marco Rubio.
Marco Rubio was born on this day. That's right. Today is Marco Rubio's birthday. Here are
I
three.
wonder if I should get him for his birthday.
Here are 3 fun facts about Marco and one little lie. Just a little bitty lie there for Marco.
A little.
All right, buddy, we're talking about Marco Rubio. Which one of these is untrue? Number 1, his first job was building bird cages for his brother-in-law's import-export business. Number 2, his wife is a former Miami Dolphins cheerleader. Number 3, he went to a small college in Missouri on a tennis scholarship, but eventually graduated from the University of Miami. Or lastly, now famously Catholic, he was once a baptized Mormon for 3 years. Which of those is a lie?
Number 3.
Ah, dang it. You got it right off the bat. Whoa! You're the one. Yeah. There you go. You're a winner, buddy. He actually went to Missouri on a football scholarship, a little school out there. Then he graduated from the University of
Miami.
Florida.
Oh, Florida.
That's where I thought everybody I thought I could get him with the Miami thing. I thought, well, maybe the Missouri thing will seem a bit odd. But, yeah, he was
the football scholarship is what's odd.
Yeah, I think it is as well. But, I had to change it. I thought tennis would fit Marco quite well. But, no, I guess it didn't. His first job was building bird cages for his brother's import-export business for exotic birds, by the way.
Oh.
His wife is a former Miami Dolphins cheerleader. Actually, she was the very first person in the swimsuit calendar for the Dolphins.
Oh, really?
So they did a cheerleading swimsuit calendar. She was the first girl they took pictures of. And then he is famously Catholic, but for years they lived in Vegas. And as a kid, from 11 to 14 or 15, he was a baptized Mormon and a member of the Church of Latter-day Saints. Or excuse me,
that is crazy.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And a few other things you may not know about our Senator Marco Rubio here. To his family, what do you think his nickname is?
Little Marco?
It's not. What do you think his family calls him? Tony, because his middle name is Antonio.
Oh, really?
Marco Antonio Rubio, and his middle name, so his family calls him Tony, which is his middle name. Let's see. He has a known disdain of what kind of music? And by the way, he's actually... He's on the record of hating this kind of music.
I'll just say hip hop and rap.
It's not.
Oh, that was my guess. I will go with country and western.
No, that would have been my choice. One more.
Classic rock?
Disco's the answer.
Oh.
He hates disco. And I mean hates it. Started some legislation about hating disco at one point.
Okay, that's a
little
odd.
His family fled Cuba, famously, pre-Castro, though. Before Castro took over. And then lastly, what do you think his dad did for a living?
I think I remember him talking about
it's
this.
Shipbuilder.
It's not, it's not a very, you think you would come from this family to be a senator of a state like Florida.
Oh, he was a cobbler.
You did this.
He worked at a
pizza
grocery
maker.
store.
You did this.
Pizza maker.
You did
gas
this.
station attendant.
You did this.
A telephone call screener for, surveys.
You did this. I don't know if you did this. You definitely did this.
Managed a restaurant. Bartender.
There you go.
Nailed it.
Wow.
Marco Rubio's father was
Like first guess almost.
Marco Rubio's father was a bartender.
Yeah, very humble beginnings.
Yeah, for sure.
Delivery for a print shop. What else did I do?
All right, 407-916-1041. So something has died in the American workplace.
That's the American dream, Jim.
No, stop. It's still alive, Jack. You just got to work for it. But something has died in the American workplace work day. And I'll tell you what that is next.
The audio version of a live, laugh, love wall decoration that's been set on fire. Real Radio 104.1.
Heavy traffic continues this afternoon on I-4 in the Orlando area as you travel east and westbound through downtown and by the major attractions exits. A serious crash on I-4 eastbound blocks the right lane on the interstate at 1792, causing nearly stopped traffic back from County Road 46A. If you happen to see any other traffic problems this afternoon, just make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by HCA Florida Osceola East Emergency. HCA Florida Osceola East Emergency in St. Cloud at 4920 East Erlo Bronson Highway is now open 24/7. Visit hcafloridahealthcare.com to learn more. This emergency department is part of HCA Florida Osceola Hospital. This is not an urgent care center. Its services are billed at hospital rates.
It's the Marketer's Report. Today, Capital One's Chief Brand Officer, Mark Mentry, weighs in on building loyalty with customers.
Capital One has really worked to create amazing access moments for our customers. We will do sound check parties that only Capital One cardholders can get access to, and we can't pull that off without iHeart.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hard Rock Live presents an evening with animal rescue advocate, motivational speaker, and star of Animal Planet's My Pack Life, Lee Asher from the Asher House, Thursday, May 30th at the Hard Rock Live Orlando. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster and the Hard Rock Live box office.
Tired of hearing about rising costs and rising rates? The International Diamond Center has the relief you need with a guaranteed best prices. And starting this Saturday, 0% interest financing. Yes, 0%. IDC rolls back interest rates so you can make any purchase and enjoy low monthly payments for 4 years without a dime in interest. And IDC showcases are packed. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants, and our largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer fashion jewelry. Pick any item, celebrate your love, get the value price you deserve, then spread your payments over 4 years. That $6,000 pair of diamond earrings is just $125 a month. A $12,000 engagement ring is just $250 a month. Everything's affordable with this amazing offer. 4 years, 0.0% financing. There's just one catch. This is a limited time offer just for the month of June. Don't wait. Let IDC help you get the jewelry you've been dreaming of at a price and payment you didn't think was possible. International Diamond Center. 4 Orlando locations. Details at shopidc.com. Unapproved credit.
Do you have a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more that you don't need? Well, don't lapse or surrender your policy. You might be sitting on a gold mine. That's right. You may be able to sell all or part of your life insurance policy to Coventry for cash, or a combination of cash and coverage with no future premiums, even a term policy. Call Coventry Direct at 800-411-8300 or visit coventrydirect.com to find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. That's 800-411-8300. For over 25 years, we've helped thousands of people sell their policies, and we can probably help you too. Call us today at 800-411-8300 or visit coventrydirect.com to find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. That's 800-411-8300. Call now.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MOVE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Last season, millions tuned into the Betrayal podcast to hear a shocking story of deception. I'm Andrea Gunning, and now we're sharing an all-new story of betrayal. Justin Rutherford. Doctor, father, family man. It was the perfect cover to hide behind.
I was just like, what in the world is going on?
Listen to Betrayal on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Betrayal and start listening.
For all your windows and doors, go to FASWD.com. That's FASWD.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show, also available to watch at The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Soul Man here. I think you're a little bit off base with the private schools. I know with a lot of the Catholic and Christian schools, they have a lot of people from the LGBTQ community in there, and people from other faiths and stuff like that are in there that don't believe in Christianity necessarily, but they want their children to go there for the type of education that they get at a private school. So I think they get not as much in public, but
Jimmy, I don't know how you do it. I listen to these callers that call in, and you say something like, "Welcome to the show, Bill, you're on the air." And then Bill says, "I'm good, Jimmy, thank you. How are you?" I want to scream at my radio and say, "He didn't ask you how you were." Yet so many people do it. I don't know how you don't just blow up on them.
They're just being
Okay,
being courteous, buddy. That's all. I mean, I can't get mad at somebody for being courteous. My goodness. That would make me a real asswipe. And so far, I have everybody believing I'm not quite there yet.
You think?
I said just a few. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well. Yeah. One of the biggest things I do get about my career is why I'm not mean to people anymore. For people who do not know, I worked on the Monsters in the Morning for many, many years, and my job on that show was being basically the bad guy, right? I was the contrarian, the rub, however you want to call it, and
the heel,
the
jerk,
all those things. Jack, you can continue if you like.
The ass, hole.
Right. This has been building up for quite a while. Now he has an opportunity, so he's going to spill it.
You walked into it, dude.
This is like a kid whose abusive dad said, "Tell me what you're feeling." You're not going to hit me, right? So I do get that quite a bit from people who've listened for quite a while. They wonder how I don't lose my mind on people. Well, yeah, I just don't. Maybe I'm a little bit more mature now. I don't know. Maybe a little bit more aged.
Well, yeah, it also kind of makes it harder to have a dialogue, and it's a different role. And when you're sniping from the bushes is different than when you're driving the bus.
That's 100% correct for sure. All right, so I have an interesting question here for you. All right, so we know that the American workplace has changed dramatically since COVID, right? We understand that.
Oh, yeah.
And the workplace things have changed dramatically. Habits have changed dramatically. The way the employers look at employees has changed. The way the employees look at their employers has changed. They have people now will seek out a job where they can maybe have a little bit more control over their life. But this is a very interesting little study. This is from yahoo.com, Lifestyle. And they announced that this is dead. In the American workplace, this is dead. What do you think that is? What do you think is dead in the American workplace?
Water cooler talk.
Ooh.
No, that's
like break time. Oh, smoke breaks.
No, not smoke breaks.
Lunch.
Lunch is the answer. Lunch is the answer. Well, I think she worked off your answer because lunch rush is dead. Now, this is an NBC News headline announced this week, and the reason why is this. People working from home, budgets, inflation, all the above. Nationwide food spending was down 3.3% nationwide last year compared with 2019. It was steeper in some cities like Boston, Atlanta, and Dallas. And it says, while a full obituary for a humble lunch break may be premature, the University of Toronto has backed up this hypothesis that Americans simply don't want to spend money on lunch anymore. And here's what they've proven. People have opted to bring... Now, this is interesting because Deb and I buy our lunch almost every day. I try to eat home at least twice if we have something. Jack brings his lunch every day.
Mostly, yeah. Every once in a while, I have to go out. And the only reason I feel better about that is if I am supporting one of the small businesses of the cafes that are in the buildings around us.
Yeah, like the next door. Deb and I go to a little cafe next door called Maitland Cafe, and it's a wonderful couple that own it, and they kind of got hammered by the county. We should probably talk about that someday.
Yeah, the fire inspector shut them down.
Yeah, and they won't even let them have a microwave now. It's really not good.
There's another cafe, Rap's Delight.
Yep.
It's another married couple that runs that. Just, their
Sweet,
business.
good people.
It's just the two of them working, the American dream.
That's right. And so, but the idea of what we used to know as lunch. Now, man, listen. When I worked in a couple of environments, one of the first things, and this is like a running joke in America, one of the first things, I know the sales reps do this a little bit, one of the first things they do when they come in is they try to figure out where they're going to lunch. I mean, they wouldn't have even clocked in yet. Hey, what are we doing for lunch today? When I worked for a certain print shop years ago, I remember there was like only 4 employees. But like that was the major thing of discussion is where we're going today. We're going to Quincy's.
Right.
We're going to go to, Miami Subs. We're going to go here. We're going to go there.
I hate if I'm here, I hate having to leave the building to get food to eat, to come back here to continue working.
That's funny because in the big cities that we were just talking about, one of the major things is they noticed that foot traffic was down. Doing exactly what Jack said, people just not leaving their office or leaving their work to go get lunch. For one thing, it's expensive. One guy says here, he goes, how can I leave for lunch? He goes, as a rule, I don't even really get much of a lunch break. Right. Because that had to be kind of put in later. Like employers did not want you to have a lunch break. And you were working 10, 12, 14-hour days back in the day. And they wanted to get every nickel. So what people are saying now is like,
those cursed unions.
Yeah, but what they're saying now is like as people kind of look at the lunch break idea, they're like, look, I can't leave. Like I'm going to get in my car and drive to Subway so I can pay $12 for a sandwich and then drive back for what? So they're bringing their food more. And what they're spending that money on is interesting.
Hookers.
It's not a specific thing. Like I can't hold this in my hand. But what it says here, and I'm dying to hear from the audience. I would love to see some text or some calls about how they feel about this. They're saying basically, look, we've learned to eat from home and bring our lunch because we want to spend that money on the weekends.
There we go.
Because you think about how much you spend on lunch. Like let's just talk about you and I, right? I'll just do me. You don't have to do you. When I go to the cafe over there, I tip every time.
Same here.
20%. It's usually about $2 or so. And my meal almost every single day is $15.
Same here.
Right? $15.48 or whatever it is. And then I'll tip like every other day or to every day or whatever when I go over. Right? So when you look at that through a month, man, that's like a weekend at a hotel that you're spending on food every day when you could make that at home and eat at home or bring it with you. And I wonder how many people do that.
$300 a month?
Oh, yeah, dude. For sure.
Cha-ching.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, what's
You know what I had? Leftovers today. You know what that is? Free food.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one day you said that you'd had leftover peanut butter and jelly on sourdough, and that just made me sad.
That was a bad day, Deb. That was a bad day.
That just made me sad.
That was a bad sleep day, Jack?
It was bad because my wife and I when our schedules change and we're going out more, we were going out a lot that week. It's like, okay, well, we're not making dinner. If you don't make dinner, you don't have leftovers. So if you don't have leftovers, you got to make something for lunch,
right,
or buy it.
Right.
Made a sandwich, but then I came here and they had sandwiches, so I had a leftover peanut butter and jelly. And the next day, I can't throw away food.
Right.
It kills me.
And
I can't.
You know how people are judging whether or not they eat out or not?
Yeah.
What do you think? The hour of time it would take them and how much money they would make in that hour as opposed to how much it costs to eat out. Like if you're making $20 an hour and it costs you $20 to eat out, people are like, that is a not good equation for my man. And I'm just going to bring something to eat. And I think that idea of bringing food from home is maybe a little bit more prevalent these days. But I'm with Jack, though. I use HelloFresh. It was delivered today, and there are no leftovers with HelloFresh. That's the great thing about HelloFresh.
And that's a horrible thing about HelloFresh.
Yeah, that is a horrible thing about HelloFresh.
So there's no waste, right? But, in
no
that
leftovers.
situation, if there's two of you, you get the one for four, the family for four, and then you guys have lunch the next day.
Yeah, but the thing is, that it costs way more money. I get the one for two, and then I eat it all. All of it. I've regularly made a bag of two and eaten the entire thing. When my wife's like, I'm not hungry. I'm like, oh, that's funny. I'm hungry for both of us.
That's right.
And then that's exactly what your boy does. He wipes it out for both of us. But when I would cook meals at the house, and here's the problem, though. It would cost me more to make those meals that would have lots of leftovers.
Right.
I would get one more meal out of it, but it would still be more than what I'm spending on stupid HelloFresh. It's just for the time, though.
Why is this stupid, Jimmy?
No, I don't. It's not stupid.
Does it frustrate you?
It's a really good product. I just hate that there's no leftovers because I love eating leftovers.
Me too.
Oh my God! So when you go to get those Vigo yellow rice packs that you can get, for two people, you can get them for like a family or whatever. I never buy the one that just feeds two because I love yellow rice and beans and just chicken, right? Mm-hmm. So I'll make one of the big family bags of yellow rice. I'll boil a chicken. Or roast it, whatever. I'll pull it apart, throw it in there, some peas and carrots or whatever, and I'll stir that up, and I'll eat that for 3 days because I can do that for lunch. I got no problem with that.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, I am starting to.
Oh, man, me too.
Damn it.
And would you leave for lunch if you worked here, like as a rep? Would you leave, or would you just kind of stay here and grind it out? And the thing is if you're on the road, you're not going to drive home to do it. You almost have to have a place to sit and eat.
Yeah, you have to plan ahead. And anyone who gets ahead has to be someone who plans ahead, Jimmy.
Yeah.
But if I'm here, yes, I'm not going to. I've done this show on an empty stomach, kind of like what I'm feeling right now with all this talk. It's not as much fun as it is when you're not hungry.
Oh, no. It's terrible. Being hungry is awful. Being hungry is like being sleepy.
Someone just texted us at 77031. I don't have a lunch break, can't leave property for lunch, and the GM banned microwaves at work except for her office.
Oh, really?
Followed by a bunch of cussing emojis.
I think of a lot of people out there who really don't get the time. I got to tell you, for me, my lunch break was as much for mental, just to kind of check out for a few minutes and then come back and kind of finish up my day. That's what I loved it for.
The other thing is when I take a lunch break, a lot of times I will eat on the computer.
Yeah, eat while you're working.
While I'm working.
You'll never stop working. And by the way, this study says that's more common than ever right now.
And I know it's not good. It's also why your keyboard and desk area is probably the dirtiest place in your office.
Yeah, no doubt.
Dirtier than the bathroom.
By the way, I eat right here every day. So every night or every day before we go on or go off the air, I have to make sure I wipe this entire area down because you definitely don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy who has food everywhere. You're not even supposed to be eating here.
I see you wipe it down. Do you ever wipe down the sign that says no food or drink in the studio?
Yeah, I let that get as murky as possible. That way I can...
Plausible deniability.
Plausible deniability, buddy. That's exactly right. It says lunch is in the 90s. This happened as well. Lunch disappeared for a while, and there was this idea that it was weak to stop for lunch. In other words, it was more like you were more of a company guy if you just worked through your lunch. I loved going to lunch as a guy when I was in business. I loved it. It was so important. I love it. I love just taking a break. Hey, want to meet for lunch?
Yeah.
Hey, want to meet for lunch? Where do you want to do for lunch?
It's
such a social thing.
Driving there, driving back. It's like I could be getting so much stuff done.
And that's where, if that little cafe wasn't there, I don't know what I would do. Because if I had to get in my car and go somewhere, I would just go get something out of the vending machine.
Deb wouldn't come back. She'd just keep going.
Oh, and Deb gets,
screw it.
She gets hangry. Hangry. By the way, it says this isn't the first declaration that lunch is dead. According to this one website, it said 90s it did it for a while. The idea was too weak to stop for lunch. In the millennial work culture of the 2010s, they prioritized hustle and grind, which gave way to the so-called what Jack has. There's a term for what you do.
No, which one?
No, when
the shower?
When you eat. Shut up, Jack.
Brown bagging it?
When you eat here. And just what you just said.
Work lunch.
No, it's called a sad desk lunch.
Yeah, sad. Yeah, it is sad. You're right.
Jack eats a sad desk lunch. Every time I come in and I see Jack's Tupperware sitting up there with miscellaneous hamburger helper products that are smeared on the side of it, I cry inside for you like a ninja.
Thank you. And, I could sit in there and eat with you guys, and not do stuff, but I'd rather get stuff done.
But you should be able to take a break and come in here and hang out with us for a few minutes while we have lunch.
You're right. I spent 5 minutes with you today. Come on. I put my time in for the week.
I'll mark your chart. All right.
You should get a punch card.
Right, exactly. I did my 5 minutes mandatory with Jim today.
Right, exactly.
I'm like, yell that twice and I feel better about myself. All right, 407-916. 1041. Text us at 77031. Howard Stern and Kathy Lee Gifford have had a battle for many, many years.
They have.
And it has come to an end.
Oh.
Which side of that equation do you think apologized first? I'll tell you who it is next and why.
Now that you can have people over again, why is your remote sticky? Tell your smart speaker to play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Drivers in the Brevard County area can expect a slow ride on I-4 this afternoon east and westbound on the interstate by the major attractions exits and through downtown. Heavy delays continue due to an earlier crash that was eastbound at the 1792 exit in Seminole County. If you see traffic problems today, just make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hey DQ fans, the ultimate cookie blizzard treat is the dessert that has it all. With Oreo, Chips Ahoy, and Nutter Butter, this blizzard treat has everything cookie lovers dream of. Don't wait, this one-of-a-kind confection won't be here long. Only at participating DQ.
Sun shining softly through my window today.
Florida truly is the Sunshine State, and it shows in everything we grow. When you shop, choose fresh from Florida.
'Cause I made my mind up, you're going to be mine. I tell you right now.
Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
Let me tell you a story. I had a client who got injured. He only asked for the insurance company to cover his rent for 3 months. They said no. We ended up getting him $325,000. Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorneys. Prospective client may not obtain the same or similar results.
Boss, did you know Safe Touch Security is the home of the 45-second or less guaranteed response?
Of course, it's just one of the reasons why I hate Safe Touch.
For a limited time, save up to 50% on select security systems. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license EF 2000-1945.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day, but when we're driving, cooking, working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Call 844-ADD-HELP-5. That's 844-ADD-HELP-5.
This Father's Day, get Dad a new grill at a great price from Tools Ace Hardware. Get up to $300 off on a brand new Traeger grill so Dad can get that wood-fired flavor. Or if Dad prefers a propane grill, how about $150 off on a grill from Napoleon? Tools also carries grills and pizza ovens from Big Green Egg, Weber, Rectech, Gosney, and Uni. When you buy a grill from Tools Ace Hardware, you get free assembly and free local delivery on grill purchases $3.99 and up. Tools Ace Hardware has 13 convenient locations in Central Florida, or you can shop online at acehardware.com. Tools Ace, your local helpful place.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Don't miss TK Law. Trendley Kramer Law calls every Wednesday at 8:35 on the Monsters in the Morning. Ray Trendley and the Monsters will be discussing all things law, from the latest celebrity legal troubles to what's going on out there.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Haley, quote, "Navage is the best thing I bought. I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for weeks. I bought Navage and it's amazing." Or this one, "I use Navage every night, could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats, and before I found Navage, I was a clogged mess. Now I breathe so much better," unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Okay, this contract looks good to me. Let me just run it by my lawyer.
Everyone knows that having a good lawyer on hand can be a real game changer, which is why Legal Shield connects you to a vetted law firm in your state for a low monthly fee. Only Legal Shield has been providing this kind of legal peace of mind for over 50 years. Need an experienced set of eyes on that fine print? With Legal Shield, you can say,
"Let me run it by my lawyer."
Is the dealership giving you a hassle about warranty repairs?
I guess we'll have to talk to our lawyer.
And for that will you've been putting off, you can finally tell your family.
We're good. I had our lawyer take care of it.
Legal Shield isn't AI bots. It's a dedicated group of real lawyers who have your back, no matter what the future brings, all for around the price of those streaming services you don't watch anymore. Sign up at LegalShield.com/radio today. PPLSI does not provide legal representation or advice. See a plan for complete terms.
The free iHeart app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Real Fun Beach Radio. Real Fun Beach Radio is commercial-free all summer and gives you that toes in the sand beach music vibe 24/7. I'm picking up good vibrations. Just open the free iHeart app, search Real Fun Beach Radio, and start listening. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
This hour of programming is brought to you by My Home Builders Network. Need a new roof? Then you need Mike and his team at hbnusa.com.
Now back to the Jim Colbert Show.
So I travel around a bit for work, and I only have so many dollars for each day that I work out of town for lunch and dinner. So I skip lunch so I can have more money for dinner, and then I make sure that the hotel has at least a decent breakfast, so then that way I can maximize my dinner experience.
I've never had a desk job. Clifford, West Palm. I'm a project manager, and I gotta tell you, my lunch is my favorite thing if I ever have time. I pop in, I get something, I sit in my office, which is my truck, and I decompress and regroup because typically I've got 7 more hours of work to do, but ain't but 5 to get it done. So it's a moment to just kind of regroup, if you would.
Pre-pandemic, I probably had lunch out 3 times a week downtown. Food has become so expensive that I probably have lunch out once a week at the most. And on Monday mornings, I bring all kinds of supplies with me for lunch for the week and put them in the work refrigerator.
Yeah, we get a little of that here. We do have a number of people that eat in here in the building. But, you know, my wife, she will go to a drive-through and get like a kid's meal or something and just go sit in a shaded area. And one of the reasons why is to just not be in the office and be accessible. That's the number one thing. But you can't even shut your door anymore because in the modern workplace, you're always available. And because my wife heads up a department there at work, she has like 6 or 7 people that answer to her or look to her for answers. And the only time she can clear out and get any peace is to go sit in her car and eat a damn cheeseburger.
And someone's going to walk by with the question that they want her to answer.
Oh, no, she drives away.
It's inevitable.
She just gets away from that place just because, man.
And it's probably, you know what? It's a healthier way to take that time to, or just like Clifford and West Palm, take that time for yourself to kind of decompress. And before you approach the rest of the day, it's like the same idea behind meditation.
Yeah.
Just you take that time to kind of reset yourself, and then you move on.
I don't let people interrupt me while I'm eating, by the way. I don't care who it is. If you call me or try to interrupt me while I'm eating, I'll just say, let me finish eating, and then I can talk. I just don't like that. I mean, it's a weird thing, though, but I don't like to stop in the middle of a meal. My son the other day, we're having dinner, and he just stopped to take a call. It wasn't even like an important call. He just stopped and walked away from dinner for like 30 minutes and then came back. I'm like, how do you even do that? Like when I'm in the throes of having my lunch, I want to just enjoy it, right? I mean, that's one of those times I think everybody, it should be kind of understood that time is yours. That don't interrupt. I hate asking people or talking to people when they're eating for any reason.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I don't want to hear.
I don't want to hear food in your mouth.
Well, not to mention, I just don't want to interrupt you for your time. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. How often you eat at home every night too, right, Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, your wife cooks every night?
Yes.
Yeah. And you eat out quite a bit, right?
We order in.
And yeah. We do that too, though. I mean, we
for dinner too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's lunch and dinner.
Oh yeah.
Girlfriend.
You know what I ate last night for dinner? A Wawa sub. Because my wife was at Wawa and she had to go charge her car, which was a few miles from the house. She goes, and we just sat there in the kitchen at 10:30 at night eating a dry sub.
You have to get your charger installed.
We have to get that installed.
Yeah. So, what'd you get from Wawa?
Well, I just got the ham and cheese, and then they left everything off of it. Because I usually get the Italian from them because they do a damn good job, but they did not complete. This was the worst Wawa experience we'd ever had.
Try the chicken cutlet, buffalo sauce with cheese.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Sounds messy, though.
It can be.
Yeah,
well, get a napkin.
Yeah. Well, I eat like an animal, Jack. I don't know if you've noticed.
And you're at your house where you're expected to eat like an animal.
But I can't do that around my wife. I can eat like an animal here.
Oh, she knows, Jim.
Oh, she loses her damn mind.
She knows.
All right, welcome back. I'm Jim, Deb, and Jack are here as well. She does know, you're right. So everybody knows Kathy Lee Gifford. Of course, everyone knows Howard Stern. I guess these guys have had a beef for many, many years.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that
either.
Yeah.
Because she used to obviously be famously on Regis and Kathy Lee.
Right.
Before it was Regis and Kelly, right? Wife of Frank Gifford, and both were fodder for Howard Stern over the years, who was broadcasting out of New York.
Absolutely. And they've had this beef for quite a while. So apparently the other day, she's tooling around. She wrote a book, by the way, and she discussed the power of forgiveness and how it ended a decades-long feud with a notorious shot jock. Of course, that's Howard Stern. The book is called I Want to Matter. Your Life is Too Short and Too Precious to Waste. It's going on the themes of power and self-love, self-reflecting questions for readers to better understand their hopes and dreams. That's the idea of the book. Here's the quote. It was a surprise to get a voicemail from Howard Stern, 70-year-old Kathy Lee Gifford said. But once I listened to it, I said to my kids at the table, well, pigs have officially flown, because Howard Stern called to say, quote, I always believe that God can touch anybody's heart. She said this and said, I'm not allowed to hate anybody that hates me. Once you start praying for people, you can't hate them. Love cannot live where hate does. It's just a very simple thing. And apparently they've buried that. Now, Howard's been kind of doing this a little bit lately. I don't know if you've noticed this.
Yeah.
As Howard gets a little bit older, he has kind of started kind of realizing some of the stuff he did early in his career to get all that great attention and become the, quote, king of media, was basically just take people out professionally with a gigantic audience that would back him at every whim. And he's had a number of very famous battles. He almost had one the other day with Seinfeld, when Seinfeld had mentioned that, Howard was not washed up per se, but was basically
not funny
or not really relevant in the space where other people are doing interviews like this because of all the podcasts that are now getting, A-list stars to come to their podcast, something that would have never happened, 6-7 years ago. And I don't know what's kind of causing this. I think maybe just age, right?
Well,
maybe just reflecting on it.
Therapy.
Yeah. Well, he's been going for years.
He's been absolutely, and I have his book. I haven't finished it.
Which one? Private Parts?
No. Well, I've read that one. Yes.
Oh, Miss America?
No, there was another one after that, and it's all about many of the interviews he's done over the years. But as he grows, you mature, you get more self-introspective, and therapy has led him to that as well. And he kind of, as he recounts these interviews, realizes where, maybe he was an ass in this situation and that, and he's kind of, taking into account other people's perspective and has been a little more apologetic.
He really has. Yeah. He has. I wonder how his audience reflects on this. Because, for years, he was the flame-throwing jock that everybody wanted to talk to and have him promote their products, but nobody wanted to answer his questions because they were very probing and very personal and sometimes unbelievably offensive.
Mm-hmm. But, he also does he didn't need to be nasty to do a good interview, and he does a very good interview.
Oh, he's a great interviewer.
Right. So, but the audience that has grown with him listening, it's like you're kind of part of the process. You're in the water with the lobster as it's heating up. So it's not like you went away and came back and like, wow, he's a totally different person.
Right. Yeah.
And he's not the same broadcaster he was 20 years ago, and neither are you nor I.
No.
Deb.
And the audience perceives you differently
right.
over those years. All of us for sure. Do you have somebody in your life that you need to apologize to that you can look back on? You're like, I should probably put that bridge behind me. You ever have anything like that?
Wouldn't it be wild if that person was listening and I can't think of one? and I'm sure.
Oh, there's got to be a couple.
Yeah. Nothing at top of mind.
I have a number of them.
Yeah.
As you might imagine. I have a number of people I probably owe a heartfelt apology to.
Yeah.
For a number of things.
Yeah.
When you're in business, you have to make decisions, and sometimes decisions wind up hurting people, hurting people's feelings, changing their life projection because they thought maybe they were going to be working at a certain place, my print shop or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So as I look back, I probably do have a number of people I should apologize to in my life. I don't even know how to approach that. And I don't even know if I need therapy to come to that decision. I just kind of know my own ethos, from growing up in a family where you did the right thing just because it was the right thing to do, not because there was a monetary payoff or any other kind of payment.
You don't need therapy to come to the decision because you've already come to the decision.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You might need therapy to execute the apology.
I gotta tell you, Jack, this funny thing.
What about a handwritten letter?
I don't, that's probably the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem at money. I really don't. I got to tell you, there's a lot of things about myself that I will not admit or whatever. I don't have a problem being wrong, and I don't have a problem apologizing if I think that I've done something legitimately wrong. Yeah, I really don't. And sometimes I'll even apologize for the sake of a relationship or just feelings. Even if I think I'm right, I will apologize because I don't want to be, again, like she's saying, I don't need that negative energy at this point in my life. And I'm not one of these I'm not a rock worshiping crystal monster, but I do believe that there is a vibration in the world. And I do believe that as you put a vibe out there, you attract vibes of that nature. Mm-hmm. And if you only put out negativity, you're only going to attract negativity. And,
so
I just can't, I'm not in that world anymore.
Right now, what is preventing you from apologizing to what you acknowledge as, things that, people you should apologize to? Is it identifying them? Is it just a sense that I've probably wronged some people and it's kind of this vague thing to you? Or are there specific people that that the next step would be to actually write the note and send it?
There's two people for sure, and I probably...
What are their names, Jim?
I'm not going to say that. I wouldn't know how to contact one of them.
Right.
The other one I do know how to contact, and I've never done it.
I just think, like, an out-of-the-blue apology like that could really just blow someone away in
Yeah.
in such a positive way.
Well,
But I think of things in the past where I felt like maybe I was wrong, just to get that apology that would be, I think, wild.
Let me ask you: do you think that should still happen, Deb, if the other person doesn't think they deserve an apology? This would be me thinking to them, I feel like I owe that person an apology. That person may not even feel that I owe them an apology,
that's
but I
fine.
feel that.
Because you're carrying the burden. It's just like hating someone, right?
Right.
You're the one taking the poison, even though it's intended for that person that you hate.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so really the apology is as much for you as it is for the other person, so that you don't carry this burden anymore.
Do you think you're deserving of an apology from someone? Do you think there's someone in your life that should apologize to you for something they've done to you?
It was one of the biggest reasons why I never reconnected with my father, was because in being honest with myself, I wanted an apology for him walking away.
Yeah.
And I knew I wasn't going to get it.
Not ever going to get it.
So I had to be honest with myself. How much is it going to cost you emotionally
Right.
to reopen this and then not get what you want?
Right. Jack, you feel that way? You think is that the thing? Like, does the other person have to feel that you do? If you feel like you should apologize to somebody and they don't even feel that way, they don't even feel wronged?
Oh, yeah, because I think on one aspect, it puts you on the same page. Because obviously, the two people are in two different places. If I felt like I've wronged you and you don't even have that, and if I apologize, then, as Deb said, that's for me. And I think it's a great, it's an analogy, a metaphor about,
right.
Anger or what is that? Revenge? No, when you take the poison.
Oh yeah, you're taking the poison
To try to kill somebody else.
Exactly.
Right. You're
when
taking
you
the
don't
poison.
forgive.
You're taking the
When
poison
you hold a grudge
and hoping it affects somebody else. Right. Yeah. That is a terrible thing, and I am a terrible grudge holder.
Yeah,
I do have that terrible personality flaw, and it's cost me a number of friendships over my life because I have a relatively high bar when it comes to certain things, and I have that other unfortunate thing. Jack has the compartmental thing that I'm sure he probably isn't a giant fan of all the time.
Yeah, it's probably not helping.
But it's helped you survive.
Yeah,
to a degree, yeah, but also you have to talk it out or you act it out. To quote Dwight Bain, counselor who's frequently on the Monsters.
I was just going to say, it's just like hanging on to negative emotions,
right?
That ends up becoming disease.
Yeah.
They just end up solidifying and finding hiding places inside your body.
How many times has somebody have to do something before you cut them out? Like, I have the ability of turning you off. Like, I actually I deleted somebody. Matter of fact, I'll tell you the irony. I had an old friend contact me just last week and asked me for this other friend of mine's that we always used to hang out in high school, and asked me for his number because he didn't have his number. And I said, but I deleted that number about a year and a half ago because that cat was non-responsive. We were very close friends for a while, so I just deleted his number and everything. I do not have it. Because, I mean, after a point, to me, it's a waste of time. I don't have time to play games. I don't have time to play games anymore. Either we're going to make it cool or it's not going to be cool. Either way, I'm moving forward. I'm not going to hash this out at 55, 56, whatever.
But let's say at 60, he gets, a little reflective and he's like, oh, I really screwed that up. I'm going to apologize. And he reaches out to apologize.
I'll tell him to go straight to hell. I'm joking. I won't do that.
First, you're going to have to answer the phone because you're not going to recognize the number.
It's an email.
All right.
I won't get that either, though. No, I would be perfectly cool. And here's the thing. This person has had some severe trauma in their life, and I completely understand that. But we've known each other since we were in 6th grade, and I went through that trauma with this person, and then afterwards, don't know. Yeah, don't know. Just complete ghost story. Don't know. And I have to give him his space. And I guess when he's ready to contact, he'll contact,
And that's the thing. You don't know where he's at. You don't know what's going on in his life. And even though you were there for a past trauma.
Right, yeah.
How many layers of trauma,
and that's what happened to me. That's why I had to apologize to my best friends because when
Really?
because when I, slipped deep into depression, I cut everybody off. Not even my mother heard from me. Nobody heard from me.
How long did that go?
Months.
Really?
And it's affected friendships.
Yeah.
It has, because, again, your friends are like, but I don't understand. I'm your friend. If anyone's going to help you through this, it's going to be me.
Yeah, but it almost like when you get into situations like that, I've not been in that scenario. I've been in similar scenarios where it wasn't like that dramatic, but you don't want help. You just want you feel like this is something you need to tackle yourself. This is a problem you need to dig yourself out of. The last thing you want is a hand. For me, because I'm like that. I want to control it so much, and I want to be able to take credit for it, that I don't want to help. And that's you talking about a terrible personality trait. That one will kick you in the ass.
Yeah, but how did Deb feel? No, seriously, because you talk about being like that. This was your reality.
Yeah. You don't want help.
Yeah.
And at the level that I was at, there wasn't really anything my friends could do.
Right, yeah. It's almost annoying.
It's not annoying.
To me, it's annoying.
The unfortunate part about it is that when you need the people the most is normally that point where you cut them out.
Yeah.
And then you just ghost everybody.
Yeah, because, you don't want to hear it. You simply do not want to hear it. It's almost like an intervention. The last thing you want is your family in a room and you rolling in there with an addiction issue and them to want to do a group hug. That is the last thing you want to deal with. You want to just be alone and try to figure it out by yourself. And that's unhealthy and not smart, but that's where you are in that position. And it really takes somebody to break through. And actually, that somebody is you.
Well, yeah, exactly. Exactly,
and that's the one that has to learn how to accept it.
That's where I've always said that therapy was life saving, because I said to my therapist, "It's you or."
I just realized. Yeah, I realized I ripped off really 5 horrible personality traits that I admitted I had myself.
Well, we could have told you.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. Jack was about to add another one. Let him go ahead. Jack, care to add to the list, friend?
I'm going to say something positive. How great it is that you're able to see that, because. That's the first step.
The first step of what?
Of healing.
Oh, shut up. Healing what?
Of becoming human.
Get out of here. Human? Can't make any money being a human. All right, 407-916-1041. You can text us at 77031. Take a little break. We'll come back and do You Heard It Here first and get the hell out of here on a Tuesday. Human.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
What's going on in Central Florida? I'm Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Noah Berggren here. We're looking at hot weather Wednesday. Temperatures back into the upper 90s, lower humidity. Watch out for the high brush and wildfire risk. Hot Thursday, still in the mid-90s. Both days should be mainly dry. Then heading into the weekend, temperatures come down and rain chances go back up just a wee bit. About 30% chance for isolated thunder showers Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoons with gusty east winds as well all weekend, 10 to 20 miles an hour.
This report is sponsored by Batteries Plus. Batteries Plus offers a wide array of battery and lighting solutions, along with key fob programming and expert phone repair, with locally owned stores in your neighborhood as well as commercial accounts to power your business. Power on with Batteries Plus. Visit one of their 700 plus locations today.
Renewal by Andersen has been ensuring and creating top quality products for homeowners for over a century. They've won 4 J.D. Power Awards and have 500,000 five-star reviews, with the most right here in Orlando and Jacksonville. And if you live on the coast, their Turtle Glass protects sea turtles, which is perfect for Sea Turtle Protection Day that's coming up on June 16th. Renewal by Andersen specializes in energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors using their exclusive Fibrix product, which is chic, tough, so easy to maintain, and twice as strong as vinyl. Now through the end of May, buy 2 windows and or patio doors and get the third 60% off, plus 0 money down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 1 year. Some restrictions apply. Just go to rbafla.com for complete details. Plus, they're hiring experienced window and door installers, too. Again, go to rbafla.com for complete details. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, license number CGC 1527613.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheet. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheet. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric. Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes. You know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
Do you have a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more that you don't need? Well, don't lapse or surrender your policy. You might be sitting on a gold mine. That's right. You may be able to sell all or part of your life insurance policy to Coventry for cash, or a combination of cash and coverage with no future premiums, even a term policy. Call Coventry Direct at 800-411-8300 or visit coventrydirect.com to find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. That's 800-411-8300. For over 25 years, we've helped thousands of people sell their policies, and we can probably help you too. Call us today at 800-411-8300 or visit coventrydirect.com to find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. That's 800-411-8300. Call now.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Office Orlando. Real Radio has your chance to win a dream home makeover. Up for grabs are a bathroom remodel, flooring, solar, roofing, and large appliances. Register now for your chance to upgrade your laundry room with a brand new LG Signature washer and dryer from Southeast Steel Appliance Warehouse. There are 5 different contests with each category offering its own unique benefits for improving your home to create the perfect living space. Get more details and enter at realradio.fm/contests.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110 level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
This hour of Real Radio is sponsored by Twin Peaks, now open in Daytona.
Stay tuned to the Jim Colbert Show as we demonstrate our attitude of gratitude. Our thank you segment is sponsored by Life Imaging FLA. Now open. Call pound 250 keyword heart scan. You can watch radio being made on a daily basis at Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
So for lunch, I just need to get away. But also, I work across the street from Sam's Wholesale Club. Can't beat the $1.50 hot dog and a soda or the $1.99 pizza slice and a soda.
You can't. You can't beat it.
Too good to be true.
Or that chicken bake. That chicken bake is
That's
damn
Costco.
good.
I didn't know Sam's did that as well.
Oh, I don't know. I thought they both did it or had something similar.
I'm a Costco guy. That's all
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, Pizza's not bad. Hot dogs are good.
With a soda, Jim.
$1.50. I don't even. It's the loss leader. No way possible they make money on that.
$5 for the rotisserie chicken?
Yeah. Crazy.
Oof.
I can do a lot with that, by the way.
Get 3 meals out of that.
Yeah, you sure can if you do it right. There's a pasta dish in there.
Still waiting for your rib recipe.
407-916-1041. Welcome back. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Frankie.
Jack is here as well.
I am.
All right. We have Big T on line 1. He wants to talk about a couple things when it comes to mental health. Big T, how you doing? Welcome to the show, boss.
Doing awesome, Jimmy. I just want to do a just call and give you a quick synopsis, at least as far as how my depression and anxiety works, which sounds somewhat similar to Deborah's, but I won't imply that it is because I don't know. But here's the thing. With depression, it can come out of nowhere. I mean, I've dealt with it where I've woken up some mornings and all of a sudden it just hits you like a rock and you have just been thrown into this pit where you're just full of this. It's almost like a drug. It works like that where the depression fuels itself on anger and sadness and bitterness and bad thoughts towards yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And at least that's the way my thing works. And it will pull you deeper and deeper and deeper. And the worst thing people can do, as anyone knows, really, just don't tell someone, oh, shake it off.
Yeah.
If I could just shake it off, I would not suffer from depression.
Yeah.
So that's a hard thing to work by. But even though there's certain things, as far as I know with myself, that I can try to do these things that push me out or break me out of that mental hole. And like Deborah said, that can last for hours, days, or even months. So, I appreciate you giving me this minute to just kind of throw my personal thoughts of this out there. And, really just appreciate you guys all the time. And that's pretty much it for me. So thanks, everyone else, and Big T out.
See you, buddy. Thanks.
Thank you,
appreciate
Big
that
T.
call. There you go.
Yeah, I was always taught that anxiety is about the future, depression is about the past.
Yeah.
And they usually go hand in hand.
Yeah, I've never had that. I've been bummed out before, but I've never had that I can't get out of the bed thing. I've never had that. Now, the anxiety thing I do have, I worry about my future quite often. My wife will tell you I worry about, what we're going to be doing, money-wise, we're going to be in good shape. But that just comes from growing up, around family that never really had anything, never knew what the next day was going to be, never really enjoyed life. There was no joy in my upbringing when it comes to, things like that. We had plenty of family love joy, but we didn't have anything like that. So I constantly, it goes back to the why I don't ride with people anywhere. I almost always drive by myself. Same kind of thing. All right, 407-916-1041. Deb, let's do You Heard It Here first.
It's time for You Heard It Here first on the Jim Colbert Show.
And let's start it off with some good news, shall we, gentlemen? A missing Central Florida teen who has autism was found safe this afternoon. After a large day-long search, the Sumter County Sheriff's Office said authorities and lots of volunteers were searching for 16-year-old Peyton Pickard. The nonverbal teen was reported missing on Monday, Memorial Day, after walking away from his home in Bushnell and was last seen only wearing black underwear, boxers. But he was found safe today. So
I got to tell you, man, and that's out there in Bushnell. It's a little woodsy. You can make a wrong turn out there and get lost for a minute.
They said he's pretty close to the Withlacoochee River, so they were really worried about all the bodies of water he's around.
And isn't it an odd thing? Don't people with autism of some level, aren't they attracted to bodies of water?
I have heard that,
Yeah. That's why they find a lot of these kids that wander off, the younger kids, in bodies of water because they're attracted to it for some reason. I do not understand that. But
water and fire
really?
as well.
Oh.
All right, with the start of hurricane season now just a few days away, Senator Rick Scott is making several stops around the state to remind people to make a plan and get ready before a storm hits. In St. Pete Beach, Scott says the important thing is to be safe.
If you have the opportunity to evacuate, take that opportunity and be safe. You don't want anybody in your family hurt. Think about it. You can always rebuild your house, rebuild a business. We love all of our houses. We love our business, all that stuff. But guess what? The most important thing is you can't rebuild is your life.
It's been widely reported that this could be a very active hurricane season with as many as 24 named storms possible. In fact, the National Hurricane Center is tracking 3 tropical waves in the Atlantic Basin. These are the first tropical waves of the year so far, but there are no signs of development, so that's good.
No, I refuse to accept them.
Meanwhile, the countdown is on for the start of Florida's first disaster preparedness sales tax holiday of the year. Residents will be able to save on things like flashlights, portable generators, and pet food starting on Saturday. June 1st, of course, marks the beginning of the Atlantic hurricane season. The sales tax holiday will run until June 14th. The second event will kick off in late August. And then finally, this sad story out of Hollywood.
Oh, yeah?
Hallmark Channel actress Mamie Laverock is on life support.
I do not know who that is.
After falling 5 stories from a balcony walkway.
No way.
She was escorted out of a secure area of a hospital where she's been undergoing intensive treatment for a couple of weeks and fell 5 stories.
Unbelievable.
Laverock was on the hospital balcony walkway in Vancouver when she fell over the Memorial Day weekend. A GoFundMe page has been organized by her family. The 19-year-old is known for her role as Rosaline Sullivan in the Hallmark Channel series When Calls the Heart.
Good Lord of mercy.
5 stories.
Wow.
The fact that she's even survived is amazing, and you heard it here first on the Jim Colbert Show.
Do you know what freaks me out about falling like that? The number one thing in the number one place in Orlando is riding that big-ass escalator in the Kia Center up to that top level.
Yes, that thing is terrifying.
That thing is horrifying. It's horrifying.
So tall.
I would rather take the stairs than have that thing go. It goes up 4 stories.
You won't.
And it's just this thin little thing, and everybody's right. I'm just waiting for it to snap in half.
You won't.
All right, let's get out of here. You're right, I won't.
Tubby.
Oh, you sons of bitches. How dare you say that? I take the stairs every day.
I was going to say, why'd you
Every
call
day.
me sons of bitches?
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
He's worked more than one son of a bitch.
I've taken the elevator for a week.
All right.
We want to thank Scott Brown with Edgewater Family Wealth. You can find his segment at JimColbertLive.com, just in case you didn't get to hear it. And last but never least, Sam Bowen and Candace Rich. Thank you both so much for running our YouTube chat.
Jack, we have a question, I think.
Do you owe someone else an apology? Where do you think it comes in?
Oh, God. 65% say yes.
Not too far off. 55% say yes.
Yeah, a lot of people probably owe them. Hard to do sometimes, though, man. Hard to swallow that pride sometimes and just say you're sorry.
But you feel so much better afterward.
Do you?
Yes, you do.
Not 100 on that yet. Somebody said that they were proud of me for the steps I made today on the show.
Baby steps.
But now they want to work on the fact that I think all people who are too happy are hiding something.
Yeah.
Well, you've always felt that way.
I don't trust people who smile too much.
And that's what we want you to work on next.
Yeah, I think it's fine, Jack. You don't smile enough. I trust you a little bit. Deb, you smile a lot. I trust you all the time. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Up tomorrow, we have Scott Maxwell. We have Animal House, Daryl Payne in.
Daryl Payne.
For a couple segments. So if you've had some problems with your dog's behavior, Daryl will be in here dishing out free advice for a couple segments for Animal House. And, of course, the triumphant return of our good friend Scott Maxwell tomorrow from the Orlando Sentinel, plus your calls, texts, and talkbacks. And another opportunity to win some tickets to see Christopher Cross coming up in August. On behalf of Jack and Deb and Jack, I am Jim. We follow the News Junkie. They follow the Monsters in the Morning. After us, it's Tom and Dan with the Corporate Time and our friends from Real Laughs. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 for more of the Jim Colbert Show. Until then, have yourself a fantastic Tuesday evening.
Bye.
I don't think so. A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan is coming up next on Real Radio 104.1.